flag in 5 and 7. And his report on football was just absolutely fantastic. As reading it at match days and that, his feel for the game and the way the game unfolded. And then he was Ricky's right-hand man for a long time at Corio, match day coach. So Ricky O'Toole had a lot of confidence in him, and that's when Corio were really up and about at around those stages. And then he found his way back to East, and as you say, the rest is history. Took him to the last premiership of the GDFL, and then he tragically passed away the other week. It's been a sad couple of weeks for everyone. And his wife, Lyndall, too, she's heavily involved in the netball. She coaches one of the junior sides, and same with his daughter, Sarah. She coaches one of the junior sides and plays in the under-19s. And his other daughter, Emily, she was in charge of AFL Barwon netball at one stage too. So they're very heavily involved in the club, and he was a very generous man. Do anything for you. If anyone was in a bit of trouble with financial wise and that, he was the first one to organise fundraisers and what for you, or if anyone was crook around your house or anything, he'd drop off meals for you, cook meals and all that. He's just an all-round champion.
Talking about fundraisers, I always write these things down and I forgot. Is there a fundraiser to help Lyndall and the family?
Yes, there is in a couple of weeks at East Geelong. They've cancelled a couple of their Sunday dues, and they're just going to have one big do, and all the raffles and everything goes towards Lyndall and the Carey family, just to help them out, because Craig would have done the same thing. Doc would have done the same thing. That's what he was at the forefront of anything like that. He was the first one in to do that, so it's great. The East Geelong Football Club's been fantastic. Sean O'Leary and the committee there and everyone. As we spoke yesterday, Grubby, on the phone, football clubs are good places to be around when something like this happens. You don't want it to happen, but things do happen, and it's just a great place to be around. They've been fantastic.
And you'd expect no less from the O'Leary family. They're a great football family, great East Geelong family. Because it's an East Geelong game today, I'll be hoping that there'll be quite a few East Geelong people actually listening to us at the moment. So I urge you, get to the fundraiser and help out. I really urge you to get it. And people from Newcombe, if you've come across anyone that's come across him in their whole lives, go and do something for him because of all the things that he's done for other people. Would that be right, Welsh?
Yeah, for sure.
And probably never asked anything for it either, has he? He's just been one of those blokes that's been there. As I said, Ricky's right-hand man for a long, long time. And obviously, because of his football background, just be able to leave a bloke like that to do his own thing and run the behind the scenes while Ricky's been playing footy would be obviously a great support. And as I said, those people don't come to too many clubs, do they, Welsh? Really?
No, he would have been at his first training, set everything up. And he was just one of those blokes, and great to be around too. He could break a mood. When things were down or anything, he'd come out with his one-liners and have his little bit of a chuckle, what he's got and everything like that. And he told Neville the other week, we're out at Inverleigh, it was just a little story. We're out there, Doc, myself and Neville Whitley were standing there, and Neville said, who's that number 5 and number 6 for East running around? He goes, it's his second game up. He come out of the Craig Carey footy factory. So Neville was just called it the Craig Carey footy factory after that. So that's top bloke he was. He was just fun to be around. He loved his Coronas and he loved his dim sims.
He looks like to have a bit of a horse bet too, didn't he, at some stage there along the track?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he liked to putt on the horses and that. He just anything that was going. He was just unbelievable with things like on his match day reports. We'd read them out at the when we were at Newcombe, and we'd read it out, and then at the bottom there'd be no steam dims at the canteen. Don't send me back there, or good steam dim sims but overpriced. We'd finish with that.
Sounds like he should have been part of this box, I reckon.
Just want to ask a question, all three of you, as President Grubby and coaches you two, about something like this hanging around a club. Do you just not talk about it and let individual players or club members deal with it themselves, or is it something that you keep at the forefront of discussion around the club to make sure, well, the memory's not lost, but also the freshness of it as a motivational point of view?
I think it depends on the person, and a person that actually gave so much to the club, I don't think the coaches would have to actually use it too much as motivation. I think it will be there because, let's face it, it can go either way. You can use it as motivation and you play, or you're at training with the man and you can feel so down that you can drop away. So I suppose in Doc's case, because he gave so much to the club, I don't think much has to be said at all. I think that the players and the team would react just because of the way he was. I don't think anything would need to be said, Welshie.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the thing is, talking to, like Dale Menzies was a great friend of Doc too. He's a life member of the league and life member of Thompson, played over 300 games. He was a great mate of his, and young Huey playing in that, and he said that when it happened, Ben Mosley brought them all in and that, and he said he spoke really, really well. He said, let's be open about this. If you're struggling, please come forward and we'll help you out. And I think just one support, all in one support, and they provide the counselling and all that. They're one of East Geelong's major sponsors, and they put their hand up. They were there straight away and said, anyone struggling, just come. And he goes, Hugh Menzies said Ben Bardsey was excellent in the way he spoke to the group, as straight after it happened.
Don't be surprised if it doesn't get used before a final one day.
Yeah.
Just a memory, just that little bit that might just need to just get them up again, just to fire them up. And I know for finals you don't have to fire people up, but I reckon at some stage that may be mentioned if they're lucky enough to get through to a grand final or something like that.
And I think sometimes you have to fire them because sometimes you can feel in the rooms before a grand final, you think, oh, they're a bit flat here. That's when you bring it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Grubby, as a club president, something for the club. It's obviously wait till the end of season, off season, but some ongoing tribute within the club as best place, because sometimes they happen and they're a bit ad hoc and haven't been done right. But you really got to think that through and work out exactly how it best fits.
Well, I don't think they'd have to think too much about it here, because obviously what he's put into the club and that, and yes, there could be something done. I remember, 1989 maybe, one of our players got killed in the Sims Medal incident, a work accident. And we, straight away, we've now got what's called the Gary May Trophy, right? And it was actually on the internet during the week. It's a very unique trophy. The players actually vote. No one else, just the players. And they vote for their favourite player. Not the best, the favourite player who just goes with the central spirit the most, on and off the field. Right now, it's been won by blokes like Festuca, and they're great champions, and it's been one, I think it was John Dromarecki won it last year, who's still playing in the twos. Anybody can win it. Yeah. And Gary May, to this day, is still honoured by that. So, yes, if East Geelong think that's appropriate, yeah, by all means, find something and whack his moniker on it and be remembered in the club forever and ever. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's go to GDFNL issues. Paul, as an executive, from where we were a few years ago when it was a 3-team footy competition and Thompson and North Geelong would finish 4th and 5th, and there was a big gap to the rest, you must be delighted with how the competition has just naturally evened itself out, because it is a lot better than it was 5 years ago.
It's fantastic. We did have a big gap there in that, and to all the clubs' credits, they've recruited well, and even your bottom sides, your Criers, that they're very well coached, and they're on the improve. They're being taught the right way, out that way, and all they need is a few more players, and you'll see them come up the ladder. And you see most of the coaches that have been interviewed over the year, the new coaches are coming in, like Ben Mosley, and that, saying the GDFL is starting to attract some good players. And I think the more professional the GFL gets, and the Ballerina, is going to help the GDFL players with blokes with work commitments and stuff like that. They might just think, well, it's not as I don't have to put in the time and the effort to play. I'll still put in the effort on Saturday, but the training efforts, the recoveries, and all that sort of stuff. And I think it's fantastic. I think I was talking to Grubby yesterday on the phone, and there's 7 or 8 sides that can still make the 5. And I was out at Winchelsea last week, and I was very impressed after quarter time with what they done. Like the old Winchelsea would have been 20 goals down at half time. They were right back in the game, and that's excellent to see. And the sides are pushing up. West again, they're pushing up. East have been fantastic with their junior program. They've got a really good junior program going there, Auskick and right through, and most other clubs they've got to follow. That's where your juniors come from with the point system, which I think can be looked at. There's some not loopholes. There's some bad areas in that with like second players transferring over to play senior football with us and being 4-pointers and stuff like that. I think that can be looked at.
Yeah.
Or kids that are going to be put out of a game, say at St Mary's when they come out of the under-18s, and if they come over, they're charging them 3 points. That should be 2 or maybe 1.
Yeah, we spoke about that last week.
Yeah, there's a young bloke out here playing who should be playing senior football, and he's 18 or something, and
comes with a baggage of points.
And that's the thing can be looked at. But and again, we don't we don't take charge of that. AFL Barwon take charge of that.
Certainly needs to be addressed.
And if you ask Alan Moore, Alan just go scrap the points.
That's obviously not. That's just not a directive from here. That's obviously AFL Barwon controlling it. But there's obviously every league's with the point system, aren't there? Is it? We're not.
Yeah, correct. Yes, every league, but up round Werribee, and Werribee have got a good cause on this because most of the clubs around there are on 48, 49 points, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it's very hard for Werribee to recruit players with their 42 or whatever they've got, because the clubs around them in the Western region, they're playing on 48 points, so they've got a case there to move their points up, and we can back them to that, but it goes to the AFL bar and they just say no, there's not a case there, which ain't fair really. But and a lot of other, every league in Victoria have got one.
Within that league you're talking about, is every club at 48 or is it structured still?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but that's the thing. We got when Werribee come to us about it, they had it all up, and all the clubs around them where they area that I picked from, and that they were on 48 points, and it just makes it hard. Werribee got their 42 filled up, but Werribee have got a very good junior program going now. I think they've got a couple of under-18 sides, and so that hopefully them boys push up and stay at the club and push through and make them a good side.
The under-16s, there's 3 of them already playing in their seniors.
Yeah.
Made their debut last week, and each kicked a goal, which was great. But, I think, as you said before, East Geelong are playing 40 out of 40. But so all the clubs are doing it pretty tough like that.
Yep.
But I think you'll find Werribee will get a few extra points because looking at it, unless they get all their players back and start playing better football, they'll finish probably third last. That means they'll get a few more points to play with next year.
So they have to apply that for that, don't
yes.
they?
Yep. And there's other avenues too. You can apply against players that come in, and you can say, okay, so Dale Smith's come in at 4-pointer. And you can say, well, he hasn't played for a couple of years, and this, that, the other thing. You appeal against it and maybe get a point taken off. You can take it to the AFL bar, and it's not just set in concrete. You can take it to them. And they will here, but then 99% of the time it comes back, you've got nothing to see here, move on.
Well, if you ask Alan Stewart, you'll say that every time they apply, they don't get it.
Yeah, and most clubs are the same, and there is a policy to go through to appeal the number of points the players are on, and I think it's just stop the mercenaries a bit, just moving from club to club, moving around. And
there's a really good example playing here today of the change of view of the Geelong district, and that's Daniel Measures, probably one of the most decorated players in the region that's played at GFL and Ballerine. But I wonder whether 6 or 7 years ago someone like Daniel Measures probably would have said, well, I'm not going to go and play Geelong District and get belted. I think I'll just retire. But he's come down here, made a real impression on the club, probably helping out a lot of young players. And I think we'll hopefully see more of his ilk coming down in the next few years.
Yeah,
and the points that they bring too is interesting, because if he's going to come down as a 4 or 5 pointer at mid-30s, you've probably got to look at a bit of allowance there as well, particularly to a lower club.
Yeah, for sure. And it's got to be looked at over, but they seem to think, oh no, it's going all right. But they look at like the GFL, and the Ballarat. They don't look at the district leagues where it is hurting a bit. The points are hurting a bit. But it just goes to say you've got to try and get a junior program up and get the boys pushing through.
I'll ask you another question, Will. See, this is a bugbear of mine for it. Do you think it is actually evening out our competition? Not only ours, but you look at the GFL, and the bottom sides there are still the bottom sides.
No. So it hasn't. It hasn't had the effect that they thought it had.
Yeah. So how do we change all that? I know you can't force people to go to those sort of clubs, but what we're doing now is not going to change. In my view, they reckon it was going to be a 5 to 10 year term to get things all evened out, but it's still not going to happen.
No. And the rich seem to get richer.
Yeah.
And you got your same areas, and They probably only play on about 26, 27 points. But that's their junior program too, you can say that as well. But yeah, they're going to get stronger. They can bring in an ex-AFL player with no problem.
Yep.
And have the 5 points, because they've got a rich abundance of points. And you do, and it hasn't. Country leagues, Mildura League and that, it has tightened that up a bit because the clubs here with all the money had the...
Yeah, fly in, fly out.
It probably would have been at Kerrang as well.
Yeah,
when you coached there. The clubs with the most money had the best side, like... I think before they brought it in up there, Oyen come in and they were flying the blokes in and out from Darwin and there, and they won a premiership. And then when they come in, they got exempt for the points for the first year, I think, because they said, well, we've signed all these blokes, so they exempt them from the points. So they didn't win the flag that year, but that's what happened up there.
Well, the group that left Karaya there at one stage, there was Jed Potter and what's his name, Smith, all went up to Donald, I think, and they were getting good money up there.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Robinson might have even gone up there. I can't remember who actually went up there, but there's a group of them, like they're nucleus of their young kids. That did Darren Shelley go? No, I'm not too sure about Darren Shelley, but yeah, those sort of blokes all went up there at that one time and getting good money. Had to train one night a week. I know there's a group that used to go from here, go to Lake Bolac to play. So
yes.
Yeah, well, Donald was in the North Central that we played plenty of times, and if you remember, the year that Corey Jones tore us apart, they did have a couple of players. I remember one of their names was Munkara, and they were two Aboriginal boys that come down from Darwin or somewhere to play in the North Central. They ripped us apart too. So they were all fly-in, fly-out players, even in the league, who were like ours, 17 or 18 in the league. So I don't know. They had some money, but talking about money. Over the last couple of years, COVID has absolutely fixed up a few leagues and a lot of clubs and a few leagues. But the way you blokes have actually structured our league financially, would it be safe to say that we're pretty safe because of the way you've done Buckley's and that?
Yes, yeah, for sure. We'll Darryl runs a great. We're joking about it really, but
a hard ship.
he runs a straight ship, and Neville's been doing it for that long.
Oh yeah.
As I said. I think at my speech, any bloke that's lived through the plague and 2 world wars and now COVID, he's got to know a fair bit about the world. But he runs a great ship, and they've structured it over the years, and will be viable for a long, long time, long time to come.
And you can't forget that Ray Etridge built it with his own hands.
Yeah, own hand.
I got one more question for you.
Yeah, mate.
The way you've structured your personnel in the GDFL, in the executive, each executive member has a couple of clubs.
Yes, 3 clubs. 3, 4 clubs.
So you've got 3 clubs that you sort of look after, right? How come every week Toothy's at Anarchy? Can you tell me that?
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. He's going to be over here. He's here now. I hope he's not sitting in his car listening, because he's going to be flying over here. And I love that. You let that go on and what argue. No, well, Wayne's here today, and he goes up to Werribee every probably fortnight. He'll be up at Werribee.
Yeah, but he leaves at half time and goes straight to Anarchy.
It's not far to go.
Across the back way there.
He only goes for the food, Grub.
Yeah. I went with him one day, so it's a 2-can trip from. So he was driving, so it's a 2-can trip from Werribee to back to Anarchy. But no, Toothy does a great job. He just loves it and loves being around the footy club, as we all do. Like Helen Tuck come on board a couple of years ago, and she's excellent. She's very, very smart. She's great to help out with the netball with Lee and everything, and same with Andy Barrett. He was at Belpost Hill for a long, long time,
and he still is.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Barrett and Tucker and all that. Don't worry about that.
But yeah, But no, we share it around, and the thing with the clubs that we look after, if the presidents or anything have got any issues or anything, they go through us first instead of just doing it. And if we can work it out, we will. And if we don't, we just take it to Neville, and Neville seems to just rule with the iron fist.
You must be nearly due for your past players day at Anarchy, wouldn't you, Wilshy?
Next Saturday,
That's
I think.
coming up,
there you
I put me name down to go on the bus.
Can I ask a question on that? It just has to be asked, all right? And he's probably listening over in Spain, or I think he's back in Ireland now.
Hope he's sleeping.
He's 82.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It can't go on forever. So
we'll just trot him out.
Keep
trotting him out.
What happens, like, people who don't know enough about the GDFL, if you're listening, like, if they had a Hall of Fame, right?
Yep.
And you had to put in a legend, there would not be a doubt that the legend would straight away, number one, be never win.
Oh, yes,
Like,
sure.
And there'd be no argument about that.
Yep.
But at 82, you can't go on forever. So have you got anything in place after Neville does give it away?
Yep. We'll have. I think we might move on to nearly employing a professional. We might be getting that big to like a CEO or something like. We may look at that down the track. But I think Darryl Jarvis, he'd be a good president to take over.
Yeah, well,
he'd be a good
Does
president.
he know about that yet?
I don't think.
Actually, Wayne Moore would be a good president too. He'd be all right because one thing with Toothy, he knows every rule. Every little rule in the book, every little bit of fine print or anything like that. But, yeah, it'll be interesting. Neville's got, I think we're up the same time. I think he's got next year as well. So, but I always say we'll just keep trotting him out, like weekend at Bernie's. Just keep trotting him out.
Just on that.
I only say it, sorry.
Mr. Grambot at the Gravevale Hotel.
Yeah.
I only say that too because at some point, people
Oh,
tell
yes,
me,
for sure.
at some point, AFL Barn will win us over and go to a three-tier competition. Now, I know you blokes are dead set against it. The day they do it, that's the last you'll ever see of me. But because the GDFL's my whole life, basically, on a Saturday.
It won't. No,
Surely that won't ever happen.
No, it won't. No.
I just wanted to ask you that
won't.
question, Paul, because there are people in footy Geelong circles who have plans for local footy and they can't do it without the GDFL. They need to have them
Yes.
as that third tier. Can you keep them at bay? There's that famous cartoon in The Office with the big eagle coming down and the little mouse.
I think we can. We got. I think we got 5 years when we had that. When it was they were going to get a 4-tier competition, and Neville was fantastic with that because saying like there's going to be sides come in from Armstrong Creek and all that. That was the big thing, and Neville said, we've had no new sides. We've had. Probably Newcombe. We've had St Leonard's go into recess. We've had Newcombe, but they're 40 years old now, Newcombe, and a few other clubs, but clubs that have come in have gone into recess. So we said there'll be no more new clubs. Maybe down the coast, maybe around Torquay. They might get Torquay, Jan Juck. But he was really good and really staunched on that and splitting us into two. He did not want to split us into first and second division. And when we really looked at that, the criteria and everything, there was only 5 sides in GFL that met the criteria anyway that they read on that was going to play in the main league. So they're going to have a 5-team competition, and none of our clubs would have met the criteria to go to Division 2. No. So, and the sides that went up would probably come straight back anyway. So you just leave it. Let them work it out. They're the Ballerine and the GFL, and we're happy to stand alone. And I think we will stand alone for a long time.
And the will of the clubs is clearly to support that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, every club was right behind that. And there was
they're the ones
problems.
that vote on it ultimately, aren't they?
Yes, yeah. The clubs vote on. See, with AFL Barwon, I don't think the clubs get a vote.
No, they don't. That's the difference.
We're here. If we have an issue or a change of rule or anything like that, all the directors are bought in and they're voted on it. So they've all got a say. So if they voted in, they can't turn around and say, what'd you bring that in for? Which is, hang on a minute. So that's one good thing. Yeah, that's right.
I remember we voted against Alan Moore, but he got in anyway. We've had a go at Helen Tucker, we've had a go at Toothy, we've had a go at Old Neville, we might as well have a go at him.
Don't have a crack at Alan. He would have fudged the votes anyway.
I tell you what, though, he's been fantastic for the league as well.
He's a great man, Alan.
Magnificent.
Fantastic fella, Alan.
Welshie, thank you very much for your time. You truly have been a great stalwart of local footy and a journeyman, as they say, well-travelled, but well-respected and well-liked. And Grubby's thought of something.
Yes, I have. I had it written down here somewhere. Can you remember incident with Philip Phillips back in the day?
He was the biggest, toughest bloke ever to play GDFL footy. He knocked me out at the West Oval. Biggest bloke ever.
Yep, he was my height.
At 8 stone ring and West.
He was half my weight, and he clipped Welshie on the way through, and he went down like a shot duck.
Oh, dear.
And pointy elbows.
So who did he play with? Werribee?
Yeah. You play with Werribee.
Isn't this the best part about footy life is those great stories when the career's well and truly
Especially long
on.
as you can remember them.
Oh, I remember that one.
He brought it up
some that just
yesterday.
go past. You think, oh, thank God for that.
Let them go through to the keeper.
We haven't got much time left to review, but Welshie, thank you very much. We'll go back to you in the studio, Robert, for a few sponsorship announcement clearances, and we'll be back here to quickly review the GDFL match of the footy.
Thanks,
match of the
Welshie.
round.
Good on you.
Thanks, guys.
This is GDFL footy at Bannockburn.
William Sheep.
Buddy, I've run back towards the boundary line.
Oh, sorry, I was waiting for a little jingle, Robert, to bring us in, but we didn't get one of them. We are back at Bannockburn.
I'll give you the jingle next time.
Paul Welsh hasn't left the building. He must be after Grubby's job, I reckon, as an expert commentator. But, gentlemen, we've got a very short period of time to get through the pre-match discussion, so we'll have to make it brief. A game, talk about clash of traditional rivals, the Battle of the Bridge and the River. Inverleigh versus Winchelsea. Winchelsea, great 3 quarters last week, and Inverleigh still on top of the ladder. Dale, how do you see that going?
Again, as I said, I think Inverleigh, with their players coming back and some of them getting a game under their belt last week, will be stronger. Winch, as I said, we've only seen them against Corio early in the season, I think, and they were pretty good that day, especially after half time, and obviously after quarter time this week they really got themselves up and going. So improvement in the game. I don't know whether Butch, did you hear him saying Butch might pull the boots on at some stage? But don't know.
I saw him Thursday night and he looks fit enough to do it.
Well, as I said, he has never carried much weight, so he'd be a handy bloke just to have sit and run around the outside at some stage. But let's hope he thinks wiser of that, because I said he might feel all right, but I'll tell you what, Sunday morning might be a bit hard for him. But I reckon Inverleigh will win the game of footy. How close? Where's it being played? At Inverleigh?
At Inverleigh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Inverleigh will win. I'll give him a better 5-goal margin.
Winch have 3 midfielders into their team that we saw against Corio, and according to Butch, that's the reason why they are going better. They're getting a lot more of the footy, Grubby, but any chance to cause an upset?
Yes, there's a chance, a very slight chance there, because not wrote them off pretty early at the start of the year, I'd had a good look at their list, and I thought they would be around the 5 material, so I never counted them out of finals. I still haven't 100%, because they're starting to get some of those players back. They've got a much, much better side in right now than they had early on in the year.
They got to win a lot of games to get back into anywhere near it, though.
Well, they're only a game out.
Are they?
Two games and
two games.
nearly 40%.
I've gone through the whole lot because I had plenty to do during the week doing nothing. I've gone through the whole lot, and just with the 50-50 games, I've got them missing out by a game in percentage, maybe two.
Yeah.
Right? But they're playing a lot better. I give them a slight chance to cause an upset. But obviously, when you're going to pick a side to win the game, you have to pick Inverleigh. They deserve to be picked. They've been pretty much the best side all year. There have been one or two stumbles. They're getting players back too, like Casey Meehan, and I'm going to go for Inverleigh at home to win.
Bellpost Hill host North Geelong, who we saw last week. You saw it on a bit of YouTube, Grubby. Any chance of an upset there?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I watched it on the live stream and I listened to you blokes. And obviously, you just weren't too happy with the standard of the game, and that can happen.
Fell away a bit.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But I spoke to Ronnie Pilgrim here earlier, and he said for the first quarter and a half last week, Bellpost Hill were terrific, and they just couldn't hold on. And in the end, got beat by 6 or 7 goals, I think it was. But he said they were very, very good and cracked in early in the game, and that should be good enough to win today against the mighty Magpies.
Dale?
Yeah, I tend to agree. As I said, after what we saw last week, as I said, the North Geelong, they're a little way off the mark at the moment, and when they come against Bellpost Hill, are one of those sides that want to make and play finals football. There's too much for them to lose. As I said, Timmy Barton's had a game of football under his belt. James has now had a couple of, I think, one game under his belt. Those blokes, providing they get the continuity of their football, will get better and will improve the Bellpost Hill side. And at home this afternoon, I don't think they can afford to get beaten, and they won't.
I bet players shouldn't look ahead too far, but I bet players from both Corio and Anarchy have been looking at this game right from the start of the season and really looking forward to it.
Sorry, before you keep going, the umpires are out on the ground. They're Henry Buckley, Josh Brown, David Irvine, and I have no information to go with them because you didn't text me, Steve Keaton.
There you go. Cop that,
Sorry,
Steve.
keep going. Corio and Anarchy.
They'll be looking forward to it, no doubt. This is a big game for both clubs.
Big game for both clubs, and you think on not just the last couple of weeks, but probably from the season as a whole, that Corio have been the better side, clearly, to me. Their first halves in most games of football against every opposition has been okay, and it's only been that fallout between maybe in the third quarter or maybe the last quarter that the margin really stretches. So they'll win the game at home today. They will be too strong for the Anarchy side, and again, this could be a game that could get out beyond 50 points.
Yeah, I think they're good enough to do it because Joel Bennett, if he goes feral... Whew.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. I think Corio will be in front at half-time, and they tend to fall away after half-time. They've done it for most games. And if they fall away in this game, I think Anarchy can get back and cause them a big fright. I'm not disagreeing with the tip. I'm going to tip Corio. But I just think Anarchy, they're going to build their game up. They think now that this is probably the only game they can win. So they'll be going fair dinkum, and they're the best trying side in the comp. They never give up. Corio a bit the same, but they do drop off. The difference will be not just Joel Bennett, but the other fella's playing pretty good footy too. Young Toby, he's playing bloody good football as well. They might be the difference, but if Baumgartner, Morris, and the boy with the helmet, Miraculous, if they can play their best footy, I think they can give them a fright. I'm tipping Corio, but not as much as what you blokes think.
2 ripper games away, also close. Geelong West are hosting Thompson. Thompson, I don't necessarily they have to win, but it'd be very important if they're going to play finals if they could win this today. Are they any chance?
I think it's going to be a great game. To be honest, obviously, if we weren't here today, I reckon it may have been that's where the game we might have gone and seen.
Yep.
Speaking to a couple of people around the traps, they like the way that Thompson are going about their footy. They reckon they're playing some pretty good brand of footy. They're obviously well coached. But Geelong West just keep taking little steps, and this is another step that they'll need to take if they're going to secure that top 1, 2 or 3 position. And again, it's games like that they can't afford to lose at home. So, their full forward's going along all right. Can't think of his name just off the top.
Blake
That's
Blake
it, Blake
Dye,
Dye.
good kid.
So he's been getting goals regularly. If they can maybe limit him at the full back and full forward position and keep him to maybe 1 or 2 for the game, that will give Thompson a great side in winning the game. But I still think they're going to be too strong.
Yeah, Thompson to me haven't convinced me that they're just quite good enough, and yet in certain quarters that they play, they are. So it's a matter of whether Thompson can put together 4 quarters of their best football, and if they do that, they can match most sides. They have to do that today because they don't want to. I think Belpost Hill will win today, as we said, so they'll go back to 6th and Belpost Hill will go back to 5th. And it's going to be like that. As I say, all my projections, I've got those two sides, Thompson and Belpost Hill, even at the end of the year. So it might only be percentage separating those two sides. So, look, I think West will finish second. I've got them finishing second.
Yeah, they've got a great run.
Because they've got a great run, and as I've said a million times, not only have they got their best draw ever, but I think they've got their best side ever to go with it. They need that bloke, Bohm, the ruckman. They need him back.
Is he not back yet?
I don't know. I don't know whether he's back or not. Chris Wilkes probably listening. He can text me through if he's back or not. But I just think they need him back because they haven't got a backup ruckman. But at West, I think West will just take the points. But as I say, if Thompson put their best 4 quarters forward, they might knock them off.
Another game not relevant to finals, but will be really close. Belmont Lions, who we saw last week, win okay, and Werribee definitely on the improve.
Well, are they? You know, they go out and play Bannockburn with the most endeavour we've ever seen, and we're all great. We were all wrapped in the way they played. They come back against Thompson, another good side last week, and got beat by 3 goals. And you think, wow, how are they going? But in the middle, they got their asses kicked by North Geelong, who are not playing good footy. So where was the endeavour? They told me there was no endeavour at all that day. Belmont Lions, or even though it wasn't a great game of footy last week, they're playing all right. And I don't care where Belmont and Werribee were on the ladder over the many, many years. They always gave Werribee a bit of trouble down at the Winter Resort, and I think they'll give them a fair bit of trouble today.
I tend to agree. I think Belmont at home are a much better side. They played a pretty good brand of football last week to get over the top of North Geelong out there, and I can't see any reason why they wouldn't go on with it. Having said what Grubby said, you know, where we've been able to compete a lot better because obviously they're starting to get some players back into their club as well.
No, they're not.
Well, they lost more, have they?
They're not getting them back. Well, their best player's not playing now. Tyler Crennan, although he might be back today.
Okay.
But what I like them doing is they played some under-18s, right? And that takes away from the under-18s in that Division 2 comp. But they've given them back, and they've got 3 under-16s playing. They all played their debut last week, and they all kicked a goal against Thompson. So that's the right way to go. They can't get up and do much this year, but if they continue to do that, they'll be all right.
Certainly looking forward to this game, second versus third. We saw Belpost Hill really strangle East Geelong up at Belpost Hill, and Bannockburn play the same way. I think East might struggle today. What do you blokes think?
Well, yeah, we can use that game as a counter, but we can also use the Inverleigh game at Inverleigh. And on that form, they win today. So, although Bannockburn against Inverleigh was 4 points, could have gone either way. What it tells me is this could be a rip snorter. Both sides, I tell you, all of my predictions, I had Inverleigh on top at the end of the year. I had West second, third and fourth. If it comes down to percentage between these two teams, Bannockburn get the double chance and East miss out. But if, say, East can win this game, then East might sneak in by a game. That's how close it's going to be, as almost as close as fifth and sixth. So this is a big game. Bannockburn are hard to beat at home. We all know that. But East Geelong, they just tend to, I don't know, they like at Inverleigh, they jump up and play their best football when you know, the Mars boys played well that day. Ruben Vesicura is kicking a few goals. They've got one of the best ruckmen in the league in McLennan. And they've got a backup ruckman in Fanning if they need one. They're pretty well balanced all around the ground. Young Zach Smith kicks a couple of goals. They've got plenty of goal scorers, and their backline's pretty good. Bannockburn's backline, possibly the best backline in the comp, against a good forward side. So it's gonna matter who gets the ball out of the centre the most and the cleanest. I'll go for Bannockburn by a point. There you are.
I'm going to go for Bannockburn by 23 points. Dale, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to go Bannockburn because I live out here anyway, but I'm going to go have a beer with Ronnie after the game, so just in case he listened, but I don't think he will be. But no, they have surprised me, to be honest, at the start of the year when they lost the players they did lose through the club, and it was mainly out of their back end that they lost them. So they've been able to cover them. They've been able to win games of footy. Grub used them against West early in the year. You reckon they shouldn't have lost that game, but they did.
No.
But as I said, they've been able to just keep doing things and doing it pretty well. So I think will just win the game, and I reckon within 2 goals. So it's not going to be a big margin.
With Bannockburn, as you said, they lost a few players, but Measures has been even better this year. There's another kid we saw last year who's really gone the next step is Billy Ritchie's been fantastic.
Yep.
I know Kieran Fulton's not playing today, but when he's not playing, Big Cole in the ruck's doing just as good a job. Probably not as dangerous down forward. Is the other Cole playing?
Yeah, Josh is playing
So
today.
he's back after a long stint of injury. So, they've probably got at least equal best player in the comp in Jackie Broman. He's a terrific player. That's where they've improved. All their good players have actually gone a step further.
Yeah.
And without getting in a whole lot of personnel.
Lockie Middleton's, I think, has been proven too.
Well,
He's a bigger bloke in the middle with some strength.
Well, he was going to be my next. Lockie Middleton and the other boy's brother. Batalia's brother plays okay as well.
Lockie Battaglia.
Yeah, so...
Tristan.
Yeah, so that's where I reckon they've improved. And they've improved to a point where they can challenge for a premiership here this year.
Robert, we'll go back to you for the studio for our first quarter introduction. Players heading to positions, umpires ready to go. This is the match of the day, GDFL footy.
The first quarter, brought to you by Common
Beautiful.
Fane
Yes, thanks,
Hotel.
Unless you can play some of those good songs again.
Okay, all in readiness here at the Bannockburn Oval. Sadly, our beautiful sunshine's disappeared. Hopefully that's only momentarily. A bit of cloud has come over, but no chance of rain, I don't think. We should have a good day.
What about the wind?
Yeah, take the wind away, it'd be great.
That's going pretty much straight across the ground by the looks of them flags.
And that's never pretty, because that means the game will be 100
the
metres
other
away
side of
from
the
our old eyes. Dale Smith, take it away.
So with games about to start, Ruckman go at it. McLennan doesn't get a tap at it. Got the second one though. They have it down, picked up there and cleared away there by McIntyre into their forward line quickly. Cole from behind gets the ball to ground. Vesakuro's over the top of the ball. Can't pick the ball up. Now he does. Now he's got to get himself out of trouble. Got the handball away. Didn't hit a target. Richie's over the top of it. Didn't want to pick it up. Wanted to kick it off the ground. Now he handballs back and ends up in the hands of Cole. That's Ben. Little boot doesn't go too far. Middleton. Lock kicks it forward once again towards centre wing. Mark has been taken out there. Mars. And this is Cord the Mars. Takes the mark on the centre wing or just forward of.
Is that the new one? Yeah.
He's had a Wagyu already this year.
Yes, he has.
So he now delivers the ball quickly back into their forward line. It's got to travel a fair way. It's going to run through. I tell you what, it's going to run through for a goal. He has. He's cleared the pack, and it has gone straight through the middle. The first for East Geelong, and that is quick work in within 45 seconds. And Common Fane Hotel first quarter scoreboard. East Geelong are that one straight goal. Bannockburn are yet to score.
Well, I might even change my mind a little bit. I know those flags are saying it's going across the ground, but the scoring end was that end in the seconds. There's no doubt about that. And that kick was a bit of a scrubby old kick, but I reckon it cleared. The players all came up to where they reckon it was going to land, and it cleared them and then bounce straight through the middle. So the wind might have helped that originally, and that may well be the scoring end here today at Victoria Park.
Back in the middle of the ground, McLennan and Cole again. McLennan up, gets a neat little left hand down, puts it into the path there of Andrew, is it? And it's back in the centre now, free kick to Bannockburn.
It could be
the
a fifth.
umpire has blown the whistle coming from behind. He's, I think he's going to bring it back. The player from Bannockburn looking a little frustrated.
That was Connor Jervis, but they haven't given 50.
No, it's no 50, but there was a hold on play for some reason. So we're back in the middle now. And
What the hell was that?
Middleton, drop punt into the forward line, coming out and taking a very good mark is Harding for Bannockburn. He's outside his zone, but a neat little pass into the forward line off the hands of Battaglia. He puts it back into the hot spot. Coming out there is Spiller playing forward this week. The umpire said he had that ball too long, and East Geelong defender will have the free kick. Can't see who that is at this point, but deep in defence. Eagles under pressure, and young Hayden Spiller playing forward this week after being a very good servant on the back line. McLennan takes a mark on the half-back flank for East Geelong, kicks long down to centre wing. Coming through is Watson Searle, who's been a very productive forward. He short passes into the forward line, and using his body very well is Zach Smith, the other very effective forward, and he's taken a mark. We know he can kick the ball a long, long way. He's kicked a one-step 60-metre goal at Inverleigh earlier in the year, and he probably kicked from about 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
This will be tough, because if the wind is, he'll actually be kicking in the wind from that side of the ground.
So it leaves the boot. It's a beautiful drop punt kick, fading to the right, 1 point only. East Geelong 117, Bannockburn yet to score, and we're 3 minutes into the Common Nafeen Hotel first quarter here at Bannockburn.
And I think that's what they've got to try and do, especially for your two sakes. But I think it's the wind will help this end as long as you come from this side or the middle of the ground.
So Clifton does the kicking and duties for the Bannockburn side, and he's going to go to that far side of the ground. Goes low and flat. Ball gets out the back. Marcus not taken out there. Cole was over the top of it. That's Josh. Ball picked up there by Jervis and puts boot to ball. Goes back towards centre wing. Ramos is there. Oh, it's a good strong mark out there. I think that will be Fanning. So Fanning transfer play back into the middle of the ground to Belitho. Belitho now comes directly across the ground. Mulville and hello to Nana out there today. Mulvale. That's it, Mulvale. And
G'day,
he
Nana
goes
Stevens.
long. And then he goes long into the forward line. Out the back. Coming across. Measures. Can't pick the ball up cleanly. Douse it on hands and knees. Picked up by Robinson. Gave the ball away. Handball goes to Lemper. He goes now backwards. And again, they run the ball. They're going away from goal, but they still maintain possession. The boot from the ball goes forward by Belitho. And we'll say that's a great kick because it's straight into the hands of his teammate there. And it's Menzies that's taken the mark. And only about 25 out. Almost directly in front. He'll go back and shoot for goal.
And apologies to Mrs. Dowsett, who I called your son Watson Searle before. But I've now got them. I've got them apart.
What is
That's
it?
all right. So it's now Menzies coming in.
So what is his name?
I just called the wrong bloke.
Oh,
Menzies kicks that goal, and he is also offline.
that.
So that was a great opportunity there, and just not the accurate kicking there. 1-2 now East Geelong, and Bannockburn are yet to score. We've gone almost 5 minutes in the first quarter.
I said Bannockburn's defence was pretty good, but at that particular time, I know it was a mongrel kick, but you've got to be closer.
Uncontested.
You've got to
isn't it?
be closer, yeah.
So the ball is now back in the hands of Clifton once again. He looks like he's doing the kicking. Asked to play on now by the umpire. He goes out wide. Goes looking towards Middleton. Let's lock Middleton. He doesn't take the mark. He's got support out there. That's picked up and cleared away. And the kick goes back towards centre wing. Good spoil out there by Harding. Ball hits the ground. Spiller runs after it. He's tackled once again. He's going to be caught. Can't get rid of it this time. No prior opportunity. Umpire will come in.
They're a chance to win this too, Bannockburn, because Fulton's not playing.
So the ball from the contest is picked up. It's clicked towards the centre wing, or just deeper of, and Dowsett once again has taken the mark out there. He looks to go along the boundary line. Menzies is a target once again, goes over the boundary line this time, and Luke Bowden will come in and he will take the recipient of the free kick.
I hate him because he kills Werribee Centrals every time.
So Bowden now, Luke. He decides to go long and back towards centre wing. Cole in front. Boyle from behind. Ball goes over the boundary line. Actually, I think it went in the back of the car. No, it didn't. Come back again. And it's going to be a throw-in on centre wing on the far side.
Using the two-runner system out here, Sil.
Well, they are at the moment. Bit of fitness work for the boy. So ball's thrown in. McLennan takes it out of the ruck, got the handball away. Tackle was made. Middleton
That's
probably didn't have
man.
the ball. Umpire's called it black, and the free kick will go to McIntyre. And he's going to now deliver the ball into the forward line. Goes quickly. Smith out in front. Mark is not taken. Picked up and cleared away. Well, it was tried to be...
look at this.
Ends up in the hands there of Dowsett. Handballs over the top to Menzies. Menzies kicks towards goal.
Hit the
and
post.
it has been touched on the... I'll say touched. So Menzies with 2 behinds now. And 1-3 to East Geelong. Bannockburn are yet to score. Ball quickly into the path back line, into the hands of Measures. Measures on the left boot. His kick wasn't great. Fanning on hands and knees. Just gets down there and takes the mark. The handball out the back. So they look to transfer play across the ground once again. Again, a dangerous kick. Battaglia got his hand in there, but they've been able to win the ball back. This is through Monahan. He goes back on his right foot, back towards centre wing. And out there again, Fanning has taken another strong mark. Again, they look to bring the ball inside at every chance they get.
Did you see the off-the-mark speed on Battaglia there? He just made the ground up just like that.
So the ball goes quickly into the forward line. Cole from behind got the spoil, was effective, brought it to ground, picked up in the front and square. I'm not too sure it was lying on the back of his ground there, but it's picked up. McIntyre now on the little left boot, goes forward once again. Vesakuro's out in front, spoil from behind, and that was by Ledgrove, and the ball goes back over the boundary line. So we're going to have another throw in on the far side.
We've seen Vesakuru play some pretty good games, but I think the defence today will put a lot more pressure than he's been under in previous times.
So we have the ball thrown back in. Menzies doing the ruck work, brings it to the front of the contest. Again, they seem to win the ball out of it, but it's picked up there by Will Middleton. He goes out wide, very wide, and the ball's over the boundary line. Free kick to East Geelong. 8 minutes gone, first quarter. Common Hotel scoreboard at 1-3. East Geelong. Bannockburn are yet to score.
Waiting for the ball to come back into play. A neat little pass, and that finds McIntyre. Spalurtho, sorry, half-back flank, or centre wing, sorry, for East Geelong. He kicks up and under into the forward line, looking for Menzies, but coming out, can't hold the mark there was Watson Searle. Back to Monaghan, he kicks it into the forward line. Measures and Zach Smith working the way, but the ball bounces over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in right beside the behind post.
You better be
East
careful.
Geelong in attack.
You better be careful. You might get one of these names right in a minute.
There's a rough chance if I keep concentrating hard enough. That is a huge throw-in over the back of both ruckmen. Coming through quickly there for East Geelong and snapping at goal was Crombie, but it fades away to the right-hand side over the back of the pack through for one behind. So Bannockburn now East Geelong 1 goal for Bannockburn yet to score. We're 9 minutes into the Common Hafeen Hotel first quarter.
Was that another point, was it?
Was indeed.
Yeah, look.
Was it who kicked it?
Crombie.
I think they're actually playing a little bit better footy, but against sides like Bannockburn, you've got to take your opportunity. No good kicking 1, 6 or 7, and then Bannockburn going bang, bang, bang in the second quarter. They have to get some through the big sticks.
So Clifton, little neat pass up the middle of the ground, punched away from his teammate. Ball out the back of the pack. McLennan's going to be first on it. He can't get hold of the ball. The umpire is going to come in and say he had no prior opportunity. Great tackle there by Battaglia.
Oh, look out.
And we'll have a ball up.
Don't go whinging, mate. You push the other bloke over first. You're lucky not to get a free kick against him, Big McLennan.
It's just on centre wing. McLennan and Cole. Cole gets a hand to it, but to no real advantage. But a quick kick out of the pack has found Spiller. He's been asked to play on, gets round to the right foot, kicks into the forward line. It's the short body of Battaglia is after. Jacobs picks up the crumb back to Battaglia, kicks it forward, but very, very wobbly. First on the scene is young Monaghan, who impressed us at Inverleigh early in the year. That should be a free kick for in the back. The umpire has not seen it that way, and we'll have a ball up.
Well, if it wasn't in the back, he seemed to drag it in a bit too. It could have gone the other way.
Could have gone the other way,
Once he hasn't paid the other one.
It's ball up now, about 25 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. McLennan gets it to Monaghan, but he's tackled immediately, can't get away, and I think we're going to have a second ball up now, exactly the same position. Bannockburn are behind 10-0. We're 10.5 minutes into the first quarter. McLennan again and Spiller. Spiller gets it out looking for Battaglia. Quick kick by Mulville over the back of the pack. Bannockburn trying to burst forward. Coming through there is Ritchie. Kicks across his body, but it lands in the goal square. Cordner-Mast takes an easy mark for East Geelong. Gets onto his left foot. Kicks out wide looking for Lemper, but he has been outmarked by Connor Jervis. He quickly kicks forward.
50-metre penalty.
And that's exactly what it is, and that'll put him on the goal line.
Well, it has to. He's out right near the 50-metre line. It's got to put him right in the square.
And this will certainly be Bannockburn's first goal. 11 minutes into the first quarter. They'll be 1-6. East Geelong 1 goal for. Grubby, did you see that as a 50?
Oh, I didn't see what happened. I'm guessing. It didn't seem it was a mark. So it couldn't have been any dissent. So the only thing I can think of is I'll look at the video tomorrow, but I think it might have been he's gone too close, gone within that 5 metres.
I thought it might have been the stand.
Or the stand rule. So one of the two. One of the two. I hope it was going in with that 5 metres, because that stand rule I think shouldn't be in our comp. But the 5 metre rule is discipline. If you run in there, you deserve it because it's been around a long time. But it's the goal Bannockburn needed against the play. Easter probably playing a little bit better.
So back in the middle we go once again. Ball is thrown in the air. McLennan over the top. Good clean head out. Lemper takes the ball. Handballs over the top. Ball runs free now. Goes outside to Crombie. He did pick the ball up. Got the handball away. Ooh. Kick goes back into the forward line looking for Menzies. Menzies can't take it. Kick wasn't that good anyway. Big fella had to get down away a fair bit. Picked up by Link Peters. Handballs over the top. Goes back to Middleton. Needs to get the handball away. Umpire said that was okay. I'm not too sure he made contact with it. And over the top Crombie. He sits over it. Picked up there by Middleton. Tries to work his way out of the contest. He can't get out. Ball's not coming out. Umpire will come in and take possession. Inside forward 50 again, East in attack. And looks time it will be thrown up with Menzies doing the ruck work. Cole's worked his way down to do the work for Bannockburn. Picked up by Measures. He can't get a clear hand away. Picked up Locke Middleton, able to get a kick 20 metres further down the ground. So we're going to have a throw in to take place. Pretty close to where we sit, and that's not bad for us. We don't mind that at all.
Well, if East Geelong want to kick straight and kick goals, I think they've got to keep it on this side of the ground. And if it's on this side, the better you play, you get a chance to win the award.
So the ball now thrown back inside. Again, not picked up cleanly. Lemper goes after it. He's going to pick it up. Has a little bit of time and space. Gets the delivery. Goes out wide looking for Smith. Leads in the race for the ball. Couldn't pick the ball up though. Going to be picked up there by Bowden. He had it and lost it pretty quickly. Again, they sit over the top of it. Crombie got the handball out. Back to Smith. Smith kick didn't travel too far. It ends up in the hands of his teammate. He goes back towards the forward line and it is offline and out of bounds. So we're going to have a throw-in which will take place similar or just beside the behind post here. East Geelong's attacking end.
They've had enough of the ball down there, but the pressure on them has been terrific.
Thrown back in very quickly. Smith doing the ruck work. It wasn't. It was Menzies once again. Couldn't see players there. Again, player is tackled, brought to ground, and again, ball's not going to come out. Robertson laying the tackle. We're going to have another ball up to take place.
Hang on. Well, netball bloody whistle.
So it's thrown up once again from the contest. Picked up, ran out of there by Andrew. Got the handball outside. Went to Dowsett to Crombie. His kick was a shocker coming into the forward line, but it's going to work out okay. Picking the ball up, and it looks like it's hit the post, has it?
Yep.
And it was kicked by McGrath. So they move now to 1-5 East Geelong. And Bannockburn on that solitary goal as we have ticked towards or just over 14 minutes in this first quarter.
Well, that's the one they should have kicked. There's been plenty of pressure on him banging it in there, but he had a bit of time. I think he didn't think he had that much time, but he should have kicked that.
So it's Clifton, who regularly kicks out for Bannockburn. He finds the reliable Daniel Measures in the back pocket. That's an unusually poor kick from Measures. Mars tries to get the ball to his effect. The umpire says over the boundary line, right at the interchange gates in front of us. McIntyre back on the ground as Lemper comes off for a spell. Very important player to the midfield at East Geelong is McIntyre. Ball's thrown up. McLennan and Cole beach both of them, but McLennan picks up a crumb, slaps it forward very quickly. Crombie, who's been very lively early in this quarter, gets a quick kick forward, and coming out to take a mark for East Geelong is Jake Watson-Searle. He's a fella who's done pretty well so far this year as a forward. He missed a game or two, but he's still kicked 23 goals for the club this year. Lining up for his first for the day, off the left foot. Goal umpire moves to the right, does not like it, and they've missed another one. 1 goal, 6-12. Bannockburn, one straight goal, 15 and a half minutes into the Common Nafeen Hotel first quarter.
Well, I know I'm like a bloody broken record, but against sides like Bannockburn, if you're actually playing better than them, you can't just keep missing goals because you're going to get beat. They have to kick a couple of straight ones. Otherwise, they could be in trouble later in the game.
So Clifton straight down the middle of the ground. Marcus not taken out there. Hetherington it was and went up. Couldn't take it. Lays the tackle this time, though. And again, the ball is not going to come out of that contest. Umpire in quickly and he will take possession of the ball. Fanning getting himself up off the ground. Ball thrown up very quickly once again.
He did grab hold of him.
Yep. So McLennan did that nicely in the ruck.
Well, he got his body in the right spot, Smithy.
Yeah. Just fended the drop of the ball, didn't he? So he's got the ball asked now by the umpire. He decides to go long and high into the goal square. Coming out, Marcus not taken. Vesakura got the handball away, picked up by Peters. Got the handball away and again didn't hit the right man, but Willie Middleton picks the ball up and he goes long back out towards the middle of the ground. In front is Spiller. Couldn't take the mark. Richards there, got the hands up to Cord the Mars and he goes back quickly into their forward line. Marcus taken out there and this is Hole. Ryan Hull, haven't seen him this time this year, but he's in their side. He goes to the pocket. That's a nice weighted kick out in front. Menzies.
It's got to be a mark.
Had to be a mark. Yeah, agree, Grub. Had to be the mark and/or free kick.
That kick gave the Bannockburn defender no chance whatsoever. That was a beautiful, beautiful kick.
So Menzies had a shot not too unfamiliar to where this position is.
Well, he's kicked 2 or 3 points, this kid, hasn't he?
Yep, got 2 already. Or one was actually touched in the goal square, but this is just a simple matter of...
He's a bigger kid than I thought, looking at him close up.
Yeah, be good height. Yeah. Steps in now. That's a better looking kick off the boot. And it's hit the post once again. 3 behinds for young Hugh Menzies. And it will take East Geelong to 1-7. Bannockburn on 1 solitary goal. And we have gone just over 17 and a half minutes in this first quarter.
We'll have to make a new rule, I reckon. If you kick 4 behind straight, you get your own behind kicked.
Clifton kicks out and finds Jai Robinson for Bannockburn in the back pocket, the left footer. Wheels around. Ryan Richards under Jack Bowman, who we haven't seen. Comes over the back of the pack. Bowman gets it now. McLennan intercepts his handball. Tackled immediately by Bowden, I think it is.
Kane Ettridge.
Mind you, he's only a kid and he's going to be a real good player, young Menzies. Don't worry about that.
He will indeed. Cole and McLennan. Cole gets this one over the back of the pack. Battaglia picks up a crumb, kicks across his body very quick. Ryan Rich is best placed for East Geelong in defence, and he takes an easy mark. Releases Corden Mars, who's had a good handful of possessions already. The very high quality midfielder gets away from Spiller. Neat pass out looking for Lemper. Finds him just short of centre wing. East Geelong mounting something else again. Kicks in the middle of the ground. And taking a mark there is McGrath. McGrath looking for some options. He goes across the ground, way out centre wing. And there is a teammate there. Is it McIntyre? No, he kicks in the middle of the ground. And Fanning comes up, and they're playing a possession game at the moment as they try and mount another attack, the Eagles. They lead 13-6, and we're 19 minutes into the first quarter. Fanning off a step, eventually a drop punt underneath it. Crombie comes out, can't take the mark. Over the back of the pack, Cole, but he's tackled immediately and out of bounds. The ball goes. That's 60 metres out from East Geelong's goal. They're in attack leading 13-6.
He's a new kid, Smithy, number 19.
Ball's waiting to be thrown back in.
He probably plays Super Rules tomorrow with the Crocs.
It's Cole, Ben Cole, and McLennan wins it out of the pack, kicks it into the pocket, looking for and punched away from Smith, unfortunately, over the boundary line. About 20 metres round from the goal, East Geelong in attack. They've had the ball almost to themselves, worked it from back pocket all the way down to the forward pocket. One out of bounds along the way, but Bannockburn haven't touched it much in the last little while. We're thrown in now.
And that could go against East later on, I'll tell you.
It could very much. Cole and McGrath. McGrath wins the tap out. Vesicuru can't get onto the ball. Crombie's pushed out of the way. Bannockburn's defence is desperate, and it's Broman who's come down from the forward line, kicks quickly into the middle of the ground. Spiller can't hold the mark from pressure from Rich. Richie's tackled immediately, dragged to the ground, and we're going to have a ball up. We're in the centre square.
Bit old-fashioned, like from Ronnie Pilgrim. He decides to start Jackie up the forward line. But when he realises he's not getting down there much, you need him round the footy.
Indeed. McLennan and Cole, no real advantage there. Out the back of the pack, Henderson gets it. That releases Middleton. He kicks quickly into the forward line. Battaglia trying to hold position. Monaghan does a very good job with his short body. Packed over the back by Hetherington. He tries to get around on his right foot. Hand passes back to a teammate there, and Spiller. Spiller releases... I think it's Measures, is it? Richie kicks across his body, and it's through for one behind. Bannockburn's first, 1-1-7. East Geelong a disappointing 1-7-13. 21 minutes into the Common Nafina Hotel first quarter.
So ball will be kicked in from the fullback position, and East Geelong, we think, kicking with the aid of a bit of a breeze. We're not too sure how much, but Corden Mars decides to go grab down the middle. That's a great kick, and the mark has been taken out there by Jacobs. He goes quickly and moves the ball towards centre half forward. Peters is in front, spoiled from behind, picked up there by Bowden. That's Ryan. Handball's back inside to Ladgrove. He comes across the ground. We'll have Cole, Josh Cole, with a bit of space now. Decides to go and play on. Looks to go long. Actually, a kick come off the side of the boot, but it's going to work out okay. Straight into the hand of Battaglia. So Battaglia, this is Locke. He's looking to go longer into the forward line. That's a nice looking kick. Marcus will be taken out there, and that's Ramos.
That is a beautiful, beautiful kick.
I think 4 last week, 5 the week before. Goes looking into the forward line. That's a great kick
that's
to
another
Hetherington.
Great kick. 2 in a row.
Cal Hetherington comes out, and he takes the mark just forward of centre half forward, and will go back and shoot towards goal. And if he kicks straight, it'll be all tied up.
And it'll sound like a little bit of an injustice the way I tell you what, I would have loved to have done the inside 50s because I reckon it's about 20 to about 4, and yet the scores are going to be pretty close.
So Hetherington now from, as I said, about 35 metres out directly in front of goal. Kicks at goal. Looks okay off the boot, and it has got the distance, and that will tie things away. He's got his first of the afternoon. Bannockburn to 2-1. East Geelong 1-7, 23 minutes gone. Common Nafina Hotel, first quarter scoreboard.
Well, you know, that's what I've been saying. I reckon it'd be well over 20 inside 50s to about 3 or 4, and yet the scores are level. And really, it's upon East Geelong themselves here at the moment because they are playing the better footy. They've had much more of the football than the Tigers, but they just haven't been able to convert up forward. And Bannockburn have been in there a couple of times and been able to kick the 2 goals. So if there is a bit of a breeze going that way, East Geelong have got to really, really play well in the second quarter.
In the middle of the ground.
Hello. Someone's running the square.
Whistle. It's going to be a free kick.
Well, it can't be Bannockburn because Link Peters is way back on the line. So it's the bloke who Link Peters was playing on, ran into the middle. So good decision.
Cole has got the ball for Bannockburn. An up and under drop punt looking for Henderson. He holds front position, can't quite hold the mark there. Middleton comes through. He can't get away. He's tackled. He's got hold of the ball, drops it to the advantage of Hull. Hull gets around Broman. Quick kick, but it's smothered immediately. He gets it back, though. Hand passes out to a teammate. That releases Vesicuro. Uses pace to get away. A neat little kick round the line, looking for a teammate further down. The umpire said he kicked that out of bounds.
No, umpire! You can't pay deliberate for that.
And
good work, Brownie.
we have a free kick to
What else
Bannockburn.
could he do? He didn't do that on purpose.
Of course he did.
No
There you
way.
go. There's a long kick
Under
into
pressure.
the Bannockburn forward line there by Ladgrove. Over the back of the pack now, it's Monaghan who comes out. Quick hand pass to Fanning. Fanning back across to Belitho, but it misses him. Kicked quickly by Ramos into the forward line. Richie's knocked out of the way cleverly by Corden Mars, who's had a really good game. He's tackled. Hand passes back to Helmore, and Helmore's neat little kick down the line finds young Crombie. He's played very, very well. A young fella out of their junior program. Debuted last year. A long drop punt down the line, close to the boundary line. In fact, it's on the wrong side of it. Out of bounds on the full. On the far side of the ground. East Geelong giving up possession, and Connor Jervis will win the ball back for the Bannockburn side. They'll be looking to score again quickly. It's a beautiful little drop punt into the danger zone. McLennan can't quite hold the mark. Jacobs tries to get away, tackled immediately. And the umpire said he's had it for too long. And the ball will go to Bannockburn's Battaglia. He finds a player in the middle of the ground. Coming forward there is Ryan Bowden coming up from the back pocket. He's going to have an unusual shot for goal. He'll kick from about 50 metres exactly.
This will stretch.
He'll be kicking slightly against the breeze. But this is a spot all defenders love to be in. Having a shot at goal, goes around and around on the mark, kicks it, as most defenders do, out on the full. East Geelong win possession of the back. With 25 and a half minutes into the first quarter, scores tied up 13 each.
And I must say, I meant to say it before the game, but I know Fano will probably be listening, but had a bit of an operation during the week, Fano. Pretty dangerous operation. He's come through it well, so get well soon, champ.
So on one hand, delivering the ball from the back pocket position, he goes out wide towards the centre wing. Ball is taken out of the air and punched over the line, so we're going to have a throw in to take place. Between half forward and centre wing, Bannockburn's attacking end of the ground. So both ruckmen have been at it all quarter and look like continuing through the first one anyway. So the ball is thrown back in. Cole front position, taps it to the front. I think that was Oslands that might have tried to get through, Billy Andrew. Umpire said, no, it's not going to be a free kick, or it's going to come back to me. Have a ball up to take place. Still on that far side of the ground. Again, this time the ball from Cole comes out of the contest, picked up out of there. Ettridge did nicely into the hands of Broman. Broman quickly into the forward line. Ball's not taken cleanly out there. It's tapped back towards the boundary line once again, and the boundary line I think will win out. Gordon Mars tried to keep it in, but it does go over, and we'll have a throw in right on the forward 50. This time again, Bannockburn still a little bit closer towards their goal. McLennan looking to get that front position, and he does so. Cole at the back, ball comes down, picked up. Handball comes out. I think it's could be Crombie, might have been. The ball comes out to Battaglia anyway. Did his quick hands, goes to Broman once again. The ball goes as high as it does long. Mark required. Hetherington out, couldn't take the mark. Ball is punched back, goes to their back pocket position. Again, East Geelong get the clearance out from that position. That ball was well attacked there. It's going to be picked up out there by McGrath. Got the handball back inside to a running player. Ends up in the hands of Oslands. Oslands got the handball away outside to Dowsett. Dowsett now spins in and out of trouble. Looks back inside. Little chip over the top. And that's okay. And mark will be taken out there by Andrew. So Billy Andrew again. That's the infringement grub inside the zone.
Yep.
by meterage off these blokes.
That's a big 50 metres. That's a huge 50.
So Billy Andrew now comes within to the top of the square and should hopefully kick this one. And the umpire goes across. Oh, he's hit the post.
He's hit the post.
He hit the post.
Oh, for crying out loud! You got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds to have a shot for goal. Take 20 of them, and he just went bang. He thought, oh, this is easy. He stabbed at the footy, mate. Take your 30 seconds and kick truly, because that sort of football at the moment it could cost you the game out here at Victoria Park. So
Ryan Bowen is this time. He delivers the ball to the club room side of the ground. Ball hits the ground again, picked up out of there. Middleton puts boot to ball, brings it back into the middle, but beats McLennan, runs through Spiller, coming out the other side. It's going to be picked up there. Blythe, I think it was. He couldn't hang on to it for too long. It's player over the top, kicked off the ground. Ooh.
Siren
anyway. Siren has sounded. So it's quarter time here at Bannockburn, and we'll see Bannockburn at 2 goals, 1-13. They trail East Geelong on 1-8. Yes, 1 goal, 8. Goal kickers for Bannockburn, Jervis and Hetherington both with 1. And for the East Geelong side, Corder Mars kicked the first of the game, and he is the solitary goal kicker. Take a short break, come back. Second quarter action here from the Bannockburn Railway Oval, and we're going to be listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The second quarter, brought to you by Buckwheat Entertainment Centre.
Back here at Bannockburn, quickly round the grounds before we go to Grubby Cations. Inverleigh 27, Winchelsea 15, Geelong West 1 point, Thompson 1 goal, Corio 2, 1-13, Anarchy 3 behinds, and Belmont have got away 5-5-35, Werribee Central's 1-1-7. This might be an easy thing for Grubby to do, but at quarter time it's 1 goal 8 to 2 goals 1. East Geelong leaders by 1 point. Should have been a lot more, Grubby.
Yeah, well, I think instead of giving a précis of the first quarter, we should just get the cameraman to have a look at this, put it on the scoreboard. Because the scoreboard tells the story. You've had it in there. They've had probably 9 shots to 3, and they're leading by a point. Look, there was a couple of ones that were touched on the line. I'll give them that, but there were probably 3 or 4 goals that they really should have kicked. And when if there is a breeze, maybe they just played better. I don't know, but the flags tell me and the seconds tell me that is the score and end. And if it is, they're going to have to fight tooth and nail this quarter to try and bottle up the game in their defensive line like Bannockburn did. There was quite a few players that did bits and pieces. There was, and a couple of blokes that stood out. I thought for Bannockburn, the whole back line, Bowden and Clifton, Measures, they were all pretty good. Josh Cole held his own in the ruck. The 2 Battaglia brothers, they didn't do a lot, but they're sort of little jack-in-the-box players, and that might come into fruition this quarter. This might be their quarter if the ball comes down and in frequently enough. And I thought Ladgrave was okay too. On the other side of the coin, I thought there was quite a few players that popped in and did a fair bit of work. Ben Crombie was good. Billy Andrew was good. Watson Searle got a bit of it. Thomas Cordner-Mast was probably the best player for that quarter. Huey Menzies, but with an asterisk beside his name because of his 3 points. But he'll get better at that. You watch that. I thought Dowsett was okay. Timmy McLennan held his own. It's a good battle in the ruck. Ryan Rich, he's been a very good player at East for a long, long time. And young Austin Mulvale. And again, we say
Hello, Nana.
Hello, Nana Stevens. I hope you're enjoying the call.
Very good. Bannockburn have broken up from their pack. Ben Bosley's got the East Geelong boys in very, very tight. I'm sure the message will be relax, stay calm, keep in the contest, because they're certainly doing well around the ground. I mean, to keep Bannockburn to 3 scoring shots in a quarter, that side of it was good, but so wasteful at the other end. So I'm sure he's disappointed. But, the players heading back to position now. Good to see the young players for East developing, but Ben Crombie really good that quarter, Grubby. He looks a player, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's a very, very good player. And I'll tell you what, if he goes on, he might even turn out as good as Scruncher, who was a great champion. Scruncher! There you go, mate.
Not those boys coming. There's 2 sides there, Ben.
Scrunch.
Yes.
Good to see him around, Scrunch.
Nice to get advice from the crowd, isn't it, Grubby?
Yes. But, yeah, you're right. Young Crombie's a good kid. Menzies a good kid. Mulvale's a good kid. And very, very early on in their careers. And hopefully they stay here or stay at East Geelong and become great players at East Geelong, which I think they most can be, or maybe even a little bit higher. I think all 3 of them have got the ability to go on and play higher football, just looking at the way they play the game.
Just ushering a few kids off the ground who are having a little kick over in the back pocket.
They're not really in a hurry.
No hurry at all.
And good on them too. I love seeing kids out kicking footies rather than sitting home playing on
Computers
Xbox and stuff
telephones.
like that. Yeah. Get them out, give them a
Say my
footy,
grandkids.
give them a cricket bat, a ball, and away you go. Don't worry about all this inside rubbish.
Righto, siren sounds to start the second quarter here from Victoria Park. Thank God we've got the name of it right this time. Ball in the middle of the ground. McLennan, I knew it was somewhere here.
It was the Railway Hotel, I
Well,
reckon.
there's plenty of ground. Oh, that's a good tackle in the middle of the ground. Don't know whether the disposal's okay. Richie picks the ball up, gets a little kick into the forward line. Hetherington, good clean pick up, handballs the way. Put Broman under a little bit of
too
pressure.
much. Got
Jervis on the outside. Needs to support now, though. Didn't take clean possession. Ball's picked up there, and they run the ball back to Cordner-Mars. He's tackled again. They win, still hold possession of the ball. It's okay at the moment. They've got 3 players out there by themselves. One is Crombie, got the handball away. So a little bit of time and space for McIntyre. Goes back towards centre wing. Measures comes across. Just able to get the ball to ground, and Josh Cole comes out with it, but it's unfortunately he's gone over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in on the far side to where we sit, centre wing.
It's a long way away too, Dale, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Most grounds are a long way away when you get this stage of the day, Rob, or any stage of the day. Ball out the back of the contest. Richie hasn't had the impact he's normally had. The handball is okay. Picked up there. Mulvale goes quickly into the forward line. Good roving off the contest. Picked up there and kicks back towards goal. Bowden going back will take the mark inside the goal square and relieve some pressure. This is Luke Bowden. Ryan Bowden making position Space outside. I'll tell you what, that's now a dangerous kick. He's going to have to get a mark there. Up there is Cole. Couldn't take the mark. Ladgrave at the top of the bottom of the pack. Picked up, gave it to Middleton. That's Locke. He kicks towards the centre wing. Coming out there. Battaglia couldn't take the mark. Gets back on his feet now. Picked up by Henderson.
He's got caught high, I think.
And
he got caught
knocked
high,
him out
all right.
there. And it's going to be a ball up to take place.
Umpire didn't
Missed
see that one.
He's on the right side to see it too.
Yeah, yeah.
May have just dropped his shoulder and
He
played for
may
a
have
bit.
thought he played for it, so
Yep.
called play on.
So again, that should have been a free kick.
Oh,
I
that's
thought
a
for a
free
hole,
kick in
but
the
it
ruck.
goes to Robinson. Robinson gets the handball, gets the kick away this time. Goes back towards the centre
Is that
wing.
deliberate?
And the ball.
Is that deliberate, that one?
I knew you were
It was touched. It was touched.
God.
So right where we sit here, the ball is going to be thrown back in.
Keats, if you listen, I'm only joking, mate. We'll have a bit
Ball
of fun.
thrown back in again. Cole trying to get front position. Ball comes out the back of the contest, coming through. Corden Mars gets the handball over the top, goes towards his teammate Andrews. A little bit of time and space, kicks along the boundary line. Mark not taken. He went over the top, went towards Menzies. Menzies, he's taken from the ball, kept the ball alive, did nicely, kept it, got the kick away, back towards McGrath by hand. Shrugs the first tackle, got the handball away to Vesakuru. He's tackled, that ball won't come out of there. And this time the umpire in again. Nice job. And it's going to be a ball up to take place. Forward pocket position. So Ruckman have made their way down there. This time it's Menzies, gets the ball down to McIntyre. He kicks quickly into the forward line. It's going wide. I'm not too sure he wouldn't try and mark that
Yeah,
ball.
I thought he would have. He may have thought there was someone on his...
Unless he thought it was going to over the,
On
over
his
the line
hammer,
already.
yeah,
But,
No, he probably should have marked that.
yeah, would have thought so. Ball to be thrown back in by the umpire. Forward
Pretty bloody
pocket.
easy from here, though.
Yes, that's true. No talk around. Maybe it makes a difference. Ball is thrown back in again. Ruckman go at it. Menzies gets the ball out. Picked up by Robinson. Got the handball away. On the left boot, it's cleared away there. I think that was Clifton. Clifton brings the ball back outside their 50, but it's going to come back again as McIntyre leads in the race for the ball. Picks it up. Got around the tackle. Got the handball out to back to Oslands. Oslands now into the forward line. Who will mark it? Ball runs through the contest. Going to get the ball. It's going to be Bowden that leads in the race. So a player over the top of him. Picked up again by Crombie. He goes back towards goal, and I think that's going to be a great kick at goal, and it is. They start like the quarter like they did the first and kick the first. They're now 2-8. They lead Bannockburn on 2-1, and we have gone almost 4 minutes. Second quarter, Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, look, the way the game's going and the possession and the inside 50s, it's pretty much all East Geelong. And if they start to kick goals and kick straight like that, then I think they'll probably win the game. So what Bannockburn have to do now is they have to find a way to change what they're doing or just play better footy. Because at the moment, they're lucky that the scoreboard doesn't hurt them too much, but they are actually being outplayed a little bit.
It's Buckley's Entertainment second quarter. We're 4 minutes into it. Ball thrown up. McLennan and Cole. McLennan gets it neatly down to Andrew. He can't get away. Gets a second crack at it on hands and knees. He is pushed in the back, but the umpire said that was all okay, and we'll have a secondary ball up just outside of the circle. We haven't gone too far. McLennan and Cole again, as they have most. Cole got most of that down looking for Robinson. He's had a second go at trying to pick it up, still can't break clear of the congestion, and there has been a free kick against McLennan, holding it too long. Jai Robinson has the ball for Bannockburn. Neat little left foot kick looking for Broman. He's got good position, can't hold it. Great job there from Rich. Corden Mars holds his ground. He gets tackled very high by Battaglia and will get the free kick. He kicks the ball across the back line. I think that's Helmore coming out to take. No, it's Belitho. He gets it down the ground to Lemper. He's taken the mark right on the 50-metre arc. He kicks out wider. This time it's Helmore. He kicks further down the line, and Mulville takes the ball. Far side of the ground, East Geelong trying to set something up. Neat little quick kick to his junior teammate Ben Crombie, who's probably nearly the best player on the ground at the moment. He kicks down the centre wing looking for McGrath. He can't hold the mark. The ball runs over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. About 60 metres around from East Geelong's goal. They're 7 points up, 5.5 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
He plays well. He's only a kid, isn't he, Crombie?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he plays all right. All their kids play okay, actually.
He came out of their junior program last year for his debut. McLennan gets it down. McIntyre back to Crombie again. Him to McLennan. An ugly-looking kick into the forward line. Connor Jervis runs back and takes.
No, he's not going to pay that.
Or must have been touched off the boot.
Or not 15.
And we're going to have a ball up. He was tackled immediately. So 30 metres now from East Geelong's goal. Menzies is out-rucked by Cole, but not really going too far. An immediate tackle. Bannockburn defence under enormous amount of pressure here. They're tackling well, trying to hold it in, and they'll force another ball up. This time it's rugby likes, pushed another 10 metres forward.
They play that game all right coming from the back line. What Bannockburn have got to do is get them to the centre, then they've got to stop the next kick.
Yeah. It's Robinson releases Middleton with a neat little hand pass. Middleton kicks down the line looking for Broman. He gets there on the bounce over the back of the pack. Is Hole kicked into the middle of the ground looking for McLennan. He gets a little push. Very clever little push there by Harding, very experienced player. Lemper and Vesicura. Lemper gets the ball to McLennan. Quick kick forward. Watson Searle waiting underneath it. Can't hold the mark. Out comes Zach Smith. He hand passes back towards Vesicura. Kick across the body but smothered immediately. Coming out again, McIntyre's got a crack at it.
Well, he's dropped the footy. It's got to be holding the ball.
Said dropped the pill, as Grubby correctly called, and it will be.
Can't go back there.
Ryan
Not
Bowden.
his kick.
It's coming across back to Middleton. He kicks and finds Ritchie right on the 50-metre arc. Ritchie trying to find some space. He's come out here directly towards the commentary box, looking for either Broman or Spiller. Neither touches it. Over the back of the pack, coming out, Hetherington grabs it. He's tackled immediately by McIntyre, going nowhere. And we'll have a ball up right in front of the Bannockburn coach's box, just around from where we're broadcasting this afternoon.
Sky.
Black clouds in the distance. McIntyre is deemed to have been held by Cole in that ruck contest. And the East Geelong ruckman will take the free kick. He's done a pretty good job today. Nice little pass indeed.
That's a good
Saw
kick.
Mars lead out of the middle of the ground, running forward, dropped it right on his chest on the 50-metre arc. And he's already made his mind up. He's having a shot for goal, Grubby.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, because I'm not bagging big blokes and ruckmen, but not a lot of ruckmen can kick a ball like that to a running player out in front, which gives the player anywhere near him no chance at all. But this is going to have to be a pretty big kick from here.
According to Mars, will kick from 52 or 3 metres. It leaves the boot all right. Bit 9-ish. The wind gets it across, but that is a very, very strong mark indeed. And I think it's young Hugh Menzies has come out and marked that in front of the pack.
It is. He's going to go around the corner here.
He's doing the Stevie J. Would have watched a lot of him on telly when he was 10 or 11 years old. And
mate, we used to do them back in the backyard in the 70s.
Menzies kicks across the body and has missed his fourth point for the afternoon.
Just stick at it, son. Just stick at it, and it will come.
East Geelong 2-9-21, Bannockburn 2-1-13, 9 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
Well, don't worry about this win, because they've already got about 7 or 8 inside 50s to 1 in the second quarter.
So Middleton goes to the boundary line. The mark is taken out there this time by Luke Bowden. So he's got the ball back pocket position. Now they're limited where they can go now. Spiller's got to be the target. He comes in that direction. He's up. Bell gets out the back. Ettridge leads in the race for the ball. Over the top of it. Goes hard after it again. Rich T tries to knock it forward. Did that nicely into the hands of McLennan. Got an outlet across the ground. Uses it. And Jacobs punches the ball on. Did nicely. Goes towards Dowsett. He gets the handball back to Jacobs. Jacobs on the left boot. Don't know where that kick was going where it wanted to, but it's gone to the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. I wouldn't be paying one this time. Oh, he's paid a free kick. It came off the side of the boot. I don't agree with that one.
He's played out in the full, is he?
No, played. Maybe.
I watched the boundary umpire, and I thought the boundary umpire signalled out on the full.
Maybe that might have been the case, because it definitely shouldn't have been a free kick for the deliberate if that was the case that time. So the ball now back in the side, and it comes into Clifton. He's been asked to play on now by the umpire. Not too sure where he wants to go, so he goes towards centre wing, but the kick is going to turn over because out there is Menzies, and he will bring the ball back forward for the East Geelong side. Looking at his options, he goes low and flat into the forward line. That's a great kick. Mark's taken by McGrath. Looks to swing and go, and does so. Back towards a dangerous spot. Smith is out there. Doesn't take the mark. Visakuro's got there in support. Broman's also now arrived in the contest. He was taken without the ball, and free kick will go to that player. So Jackie Broman, free kick. Half back line, he goes short, has Ritchie. Ritchie's got options outside. He goes quickly and again goes towards Jervis, makes the ground. He's in space now, links up players over the top. Spiller's made ground, so they've used that player further down the ground. They've still got Robinson running if he wants to use him. That's where he goes now. Kick has to be good and wasn't. Rich comes across and he intercepts the mark. Transfers play back inside. Kick will also have to be good. Only was because it was made good by his teammate, and I think might be not Blythe this time. Not too sure. It's Hole. He now goes long towards the centre wing position, but reading it nicely out there is Ladgrove, and he takes the mark. He was looking to bring the ball back inside. Broman had made some space, but the option wasn't there, so he now goes down the line, back towards Spiller. He's out in front, comes up and takes the mark.
Called play on,
says the umpire. Had a fair bit of it, couldn't finish it off. And the balling will take place on that far side between centre wing, half forward. So Coles has gone down once again. McClellan is also down there. Big jobs for these two today. Thrown back in by the umpire. High pass advantage has now been played, and it's taken away there by Andrew. He runs, kicks, goes into their forward line. Bowden out the back, staying on the ground. Ball hits the ground, picked up Ladgrove, got the handball away, didn't go too far, only as far as Watson Searle goes back on the boot, goes towards goal, and that is a nice finish. And he has got his first goal of the afternoon, now the third for East Geelong. They are 3-9, Bannockburn are 2-1, and we have gone 12 minutes in this second quarter. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, look, forget about the first quarter and the misses and the wind. They are playing better football. There is no doubt they're playing better football, which means Bannockburn have to lift, and they have to lift pretty quickly, because if those black clouds come over here and it starts pouring rain, you don't want to be 4 goals down. You've got to be closer. But down the back line, when you've got a bloke that reads the play as well as Ryan Rich, then you've got to make your disposals very, very good. And during this quarter, they've given him a chance because they haven't been as good as they should be.
Back in the middle, McLennan gets it out into the path of Lemper. He can't pick it up, coming through there and tackled immediately. No prior opportunity. East Geelong player coming up with the ball. That is Andrew, who's had a very good day so far. Ball's being thrown up. McLennan again. McLennan left-handed down to a teammate. Can't get through. Cole comes through for Bannockburn. Is tackled. That's a bit of a throw to Lemper. Can't get away. Coming through again, doing a very good job. Middleton, he releases it, but not going too far. Broman is tackled immediately. He can't get it out of the pack either. It is just going nowhere, up and down. The umpire's going to have to throw it up and start again, and he eventually does so. Lots of players around the ball, everyone pretty desperate. Bannockburn trying to get control of the game. They've only had 3 shots at goal to East Geelong's 12. That shows the dominance that Grubby was talking about earlier. Over the back of the pack there for Bannockburn comes to Henderson. He kicks down the line over the back of the pack. Blythe does very well against Harding. Harding gets a second go at it, but it beats him over the line. We'll have a throw in right in front of our commentary box here with nearly 14 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter here at Bannockburn. The black clouds around. We said there wasn't going to be too much rain. Hopefully not. Cole this time gets it down, but coming through very quickly is McIntyre. Ritchie picks up a smothered kick, kicks it long into the forward line, looking for Battaglia. Young Monahan's doing a really good job on him. Gets a possession, gets away from his man. Really good use of his body and hips. Releases and kicks down the ground, looking for a teammate. A neat little hand pass, releases Corden to Mars.
He's the ball.
No, he's come back.
Already paid a free kick back here somewhere.
Yeah, to Ladgrove. I think he might have infringement in the contest.
Well, so it's Bannockburn's one way or the other.
Yep, Bannockburn have the kick.
25 metres closer.
60 metres out from goal. Ladgrove to Broman. The umpire said, you can't do that, son. You weren't behind the mark, so we've got to come back again.
I'm glad you can't do that, because Jackie just kicked it high in the air. And I think without Kieran Fulton down there, they do look a bit short. So, go a bit wide. Don't just kick it in the air, which he did anyway.
Big drop punt right down into the hot spot. That's probably why Spiller's down that end of the ground today, and he's done okay so far, and he's laid a tackle on Monahan. He's not going anywhere. Ball up right at the end of the 10-metre square. Bannockburn in attack, desperately need a goal to get themselves back in this contest. McLennan lays it down, wobbles over the back of the pack, comes out to Mulville. He kicks across his body to douse it, but over the top of the pack, Hetherington to Middleton. Middleton to Ritchie. Long, low shot at goal.
You love the ball in his hands.
He's a good player, this boy. He's done very well. That's a goal. It takes them to 3-1-19. East Geelong 3-9-27. 15 and a half minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
That's the beauty of that type of footballer. He probably hasn't played his best game yet today, but when the ball gets in his hands near the forward line, he is so dangerous. And in there, like Freeman out at Thompson, and there's a few blokes, Jarks out at Belmont, when they get to footy, even if they're not playing the best game they've ever played, they're still dangerous, and kicks like that keep Bannockburn in the game. And I mentioned Fulton not playing, but my favourite player, Lowy's not playing either.
So the ball now is brought back into the middle of the ground. It's going to be cleared away, and it's Hole. It comes out of the middle, goes back into their forward line very quickly, measures, couldn't take the mark, comes to the front of the contest. Dowsett tried to pick the ball up, got through the other side. Actually, couldn't pick the ball up cleanly. Picked up now. Handball goes out towards Smith. Needs to put boot to ball and does so and brings it back nicely. That's a quick response to the Bannockburn goal, and Zach Smith has got his first of the afternoon, and the fourth now for East Geelong. They're 4-9. They lead Bannockburn 3-1. 16, almost 17 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to win games of football and Bannockburn come up with a nice goal, the best way to do it is to reply straight away. And that's what he's done. They're playing a pretty good brand of footy. I'd like to see who's going up in the ruck here.
Hetherington.
See, the thing is, and again, and I'm not making an excuse, but again, without Fulton in the side, Big Josh Cole's out here at the moment, and they're a bit light on in the ruck as well, where they're not when Kieran is playing.
So in the middle, McLennan gets it left hand to Lemper. He can't quite get it. Second go he does. Down to Hole, who's a very good player the first time we've seen him. A quick hand pass out to Dowsett. He cleverly gets it back to McGrath. Kicks it quickly in the forward line, but that is a very, very good mark by Daniel Measures. Equally good kick finds Broman. And Broman now long, low drop punt down the line looking for Harding. Over the back of him, Belitho is going to be first there if the boundary line doesn't beat them, which it does. And we'll have a throw in far side of the ground. 33 plays 19, 7.5 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter here at Bannockburn. Second versus third. This is the big, big match of the round. And it hasn't let anyone down at this particular stage. Throw in, McLennan is bodied out by Hetherington. He's tackled quickly, doesn't get it away. Henderson slaps it forward, but it's to East Geelong's advantage. And it's McIntyre, that neat little left foot pass looking for Vesikira over the back of the pack, and Link Peters picks up the crumb, kicks down the line, looking for Jai Robinson, and that's a neat little pass.
He needs to come into the game, Robbo. He needs to come into the game.
He hasn't been at his best. That lovely little neat left foot kick reminds me a lot of Dill Whitney, the way he kicks the ball. Ball's over the back to Henderson. He pushes it forward. Teammates trying to get hold of it. It's released it again. That's Mulville kicks it quickly down the line. Coming out in front, Bowden does a very good job. Picks it up on the half volley. Slaps it quickly back. Ryan Lemper picks up first. Evades a tackle. His kick is smothered. Over the back of the pack to Ramos, to Henderson. Henderson down the line, and Spiller comes out and takes a really strong mark under a lot of pressure from Jaden Fanning. But Spiller pinch hitting in the forward line today with Fulton out. Kicks long down the line over the back of the pack. It's going to be onto it by Harding. Harding's pushed in the back.
Could have got one in the back, BJ.
It's pulled off the ball. The umpire says play on notes. Cole, who grabs it, kicks it forward. That was Ben Cole. Ball bounces. Broman tries to get hold of it. The umpire says out of bounds, forward pocket, about 15 metres around from their point post. Bannockburn in attack, trailing by 14 points. 19 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
So from the forward pocket, umpire about to restart play. Throws the ball in. McLennan looks like the only ruckman that's going to get there. Took the ball out of the contest. Went looking for McIntyre. Got the handball away. He couldn't pick the ball up. Ball goes back outside. I think it's Harding in there. He's tackled, and now the umpire says he's seen held up, and it's going to be a free kick. Must be holding the ball. So they transfer play across the ground, which is dangerous. It's going to be okay. Marcus taken out there, and it's Carter. So Carter now looks to bring the ball club room side of the ground. Kick goes out looking for Dowsett. Ball up over the back. Ball hits the ground again. They go after it. The ball goes over the boundary line, and there will be a throw-in to take place. Just outside the forward 50, Bannockburn's attacking end. Ball is thrown back in. Ball tapped out of the contest, picked up by Middleton, able to get boot to ball, goes into the half-forward line, Spoil from behind, comes out, well read there by Henderson on the left boot, looks to go forward, nice
well
kick.
Played, young Jackie Henderson.
Into the hands of Harding, and he will go back and shoot from almost the top of the square. Can't say it's going to go through. There's been a lot missed from there today.
Well, there has, and I think on the run, under pressure, some of these young blokes tend to blaze away and have a shot, but just had the composure to see BJ with a lead and hit him right on the chest. So his old man wouldn't have done it. He'd have tried for goal, Endo. Don't worry about that.
So Harding, he's going to get close to the amount
Too
of mark.
close, but doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. He kicks the goal. He's done that a few times in his career, and the BJ Harding has his first of the afternoon and the fourth now for Bannockburn. They are 4-1. East Geelong are 4-9, and we've gone just over 21 minutes in the Buckley's Entertainment Centre second quarter scoreboard.
It's just amazing, isn't it? Last year at the Bannockburn-Werribee game, I was talking to BJ before the game. They were talking about all these great games in the late 90s and early 2000s, and he said, yeah, I know, I played in them. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, he's still playing. He's the only bloke still playing, and he's still playing good footy. I know he missed the early part of the year. He's been playing down the back line the last few years, and they've thrown him up forward. He's kicking a few goals. So
still playing good cricket too, I think.
Yeah, well, he was a real good cricket. I've seen him hit some sixes on YouTube. He smacked them everywhere, but great sportsman and a fantastic bloke too. So it's great to see him hold his place in this Bannockburn side.
Waiting for the ball to get back in the middle. East Geelong answered within a minute the last time they had a goal scored on them. See how they go this time as it's...
Well, that's the trick. That's the trick. Bannockburn have got to get the next one and stop that stuff.
McLennan, he gets a hand on the ball first, but Cole muscles his way forward, gets it to Middleton, who's been really good in the middle for Bannockburn. Robinson tackled immediately. Ball wobbles out the back of the pack again. Lemper's going to be there. Quick little kick forward to the advantage of McGrath for East Geelong. He cleverly picks it up. Hand passes back to a teammate there in Crombie. He's tackled immediately, though. Bannockburn very resolute in defence, standing up. Ball comes out the back towards Henderson and Crombie. Crombie does a very good job to win the ball, but he's tackled immediately. Clifton can't win control of the ball. Players juggling away there with the ball.
Oh, he's played on the ball.
But he's pinged someone, and he's pinged someone from Bannockburn. And East Geelong are going to have a shot at goal deep in the forward pocket. It's Dowsett, is it? Kicks into the middle of the ground, but misses a couple on the lead, and Jervis takes a relieving mark. Gets it out in the pocket quickly, and Measures takes the mark for Bannockburn.
They're all covered down this side.
Everyone is covered indeed. So Measures goes long down the line. Ball punched forward, coming out to meet the ball for Bannockburn. Tackled immediately by Rich. I think it's Ramos.
I think why the ball was down there, the Bannockburn bloke tapped the ball and went to get the second grab, and his mate took it, but he was running the wrong way back into the defence. If he leaves it go, away they go.
McLennan, that's neat ruck work, but Jai Robinson gets it to Harding. Harding inside to Ritchie, to Bowman. Kicks into open spaces. There's a race on. Cal Hetherington has got the pace. If he can get it to bounce, it doesn't bounce well. And Cordner Mars for East Geelong quickly picks it up, and a delightful pass into the middle of the ground and finds Oslands. Oslands kicks down the line. Cole has best position. Vesicuro read it well at the back of the pack. Plays on quickly. Low pass in looking for Watson Searle. He's grabbed it on the half volley. Tackled immediately. Not going anywhere. The umpire said he was tackled high.
No, he's going to ball it up.
No, balled it up. A funny little tapped himself on the shoulder there. In their pack, Menzies and Cole. Cole gets a hand to it, but it's East Geelong. Crombie, he quickly kicks out of the pack. Punch ball forward, but through for a one behind. Rush through there. Takes into double figures on the points. 4 goals, 10, 34. Bannockburn 4-1, 25. 24 and a half minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
And I just noticed, he did get a bad bounce, Hetherington, down here, but you can't fumble or get a bad bounce when you got that mask behind you, because he's a one grabber. No matter where it is, he's a one grabber. And they're handy for you.
So Bannockburn now with Bowden, kicks down in the middle of the ground looking for Cole, punched away from him by McLennan, good old-fashioned ruckman. Hand pass by Andrew, releases Crombie. He gets it quickly on his foot, and there is the reply. East Geelong have done that well today. Their 5th goal. They're 5-10 now. 5-10-40 Bannockburn 4-1-25. Back to a 15-point margin, 25 minutes in.
And as I say every week, it wasn't a straight reply, a real quick reply, but they got the ball in their forward line and they held it in there. Their forwards are tackling hard and they hold the ball in there. All right, Bannockburn helped them a little bit. I know they look for the big ruckman, but it's not always the best thing to look for your big ruckman when their big ruckman standing right behind you and gets a chance to punch it back into their forward line. And they held it in, like I say each week. If you hold it in your forward line, the opportunities will come, and it did that, and it just kept that break on them.
This has been a ripper game this afternoon. McLennan and Cole. Sorry, mate. Go.
Ball back in the middle of the ground. I'm sitting over the top. I'm not too sure what it is, but the ball's not going to come out of there, and it's going to be a ball up to take place once again. Jai Robinson it was. Ball up quickly by the umpire again. Front position, McLennan taps the ball down. Broman and Robinson picked up there. I think that might be Andrew that's trying to work his way through the contest, but he's not getting out the other side. Umpire again in quickly, and he will take possession once again. So we've moved a little bit from the centre square. We've gone East Geelong's attacking way. As I said, comes out the back, and again Andrew has it, tackled by Peters, brought to ground, picked up there. Umpire said he didn't have the ball, and the free kick will go East Geelong's way.
A little bit Tiggy Touchwood, but it was there.
So Andrew now is the recipient. He decides to go quickly, looks to deliver the ball long and out wide, coming across. Good hands there, Lemper it was. And he was the mark was trying to be spoiled there by Jai Robinson. Couldn't have the height, and mark was taken.
Well, he got in the position and he did everything right, Jai Robinson. But this kid's hands were just too strong. He wasn't going to be punched out, and his hands were too good.
So Lemper now will kick from just outside the forward 50. Kicks low and flat. Wind is going to take it across, and it will be pushed through for a minor score. It is.
Just while they're getting the ball, Belmont 42, Werribee jumped them. They're 7-7, 49, Corio 38, Anarchy 25, Thompson 51, Geelong West staggering on 29.
Wow.
And Inverleigh 53, Winchelsea 29.
So Clifton brings the ball in, he goes to the pocket, was okay. Mark taken out there by Jervis, and he plays on and goes quickly towards centre wing. Broman's out there, and I reckon that might have been just in the field of play. Umpire says it's okay. He now takes the mark and tries to move the ball quickly to the half-forward line. Spiller's out the back, needs to spoil, does so. Players at the front of the contest, picked up Middleton, got the handball away, actually went back and got it again. Kick's going to be okay. Mark has taken Hetherington, looks to bring the ball inside, goes towards Battaglia, a bit too much weight on it, and Mulville, he has taken the mark at Mulvale. And he goes out wide, far side of the ground. Mark is taken outside 50, so they've worked the ball nicely. Out towards centre wing they go. Middleton's up. Ball goes to McGrath. Picked up there by Jervis. Campbell goes away. It was okay to Laddams. His kick goes round the boundary line. Is it okay? Going across. Ettridge comes across and takes the mark. So he looks back inside. Kick had to be good and was. Mark is taken there by Ritchie. And he's now asked to play on by the umpire. So a little bit of candy. Got around the player on the mark. Now decides to go long towards the goal square. Ball held up in the wind. Ball comes down. Picked up there by Harding once again. Ball comes out. Where's it going to finish? Picked up. Middleton needs support. Has it in Battaglia. Goes to Ritchie. Back to Broman. Broman just slaps it on the boot. Got some good distance, but it's going to land right in the goal square. Mark will be taken out there. Belay, though, steady in the last line. And now he takes the mark and decides to go far side of the ground. A little bit of safety out there, but the kick's going to come scrack because the mark has been taken out there by Laddams. And he goes short into Jervis. Jervis looking inside again. Goes to Broman. Takes the mark, yes, no. Umpire says yes, it's okay. So Jack Broman will go back and shoot for goal. Won't be much more time left in this second quarter. Jesus, Rich goes towards Ritchie. He's opened up the angle, and Ritchie was in range as the siren has sounded. So this is an important kick for goal. East Geelong will be 5 goals 11. They will lead. By how much will be determined by the Billy Ritchie kick after the half-time break. So Ritchie now to kick from about 40 metres out. He's going back on the Dennis Lilly. Comes in now. And gets in momentum. Kicks that goal. Looks okay off the boot. And it's a goal. So he's got it. He's got one right on the half-time break. So Bannockburn to 5-1-31. And East Geelong on 5-11-41. So a 10-point margin. Goal kickers at this stage of the game for the home side. Billy Ritchie now with 2, 1 each to Harding, Jervis and Hetherington. And for the East Geelong side, 2 to Crombie, 1 each to Watson, Searle, Cordner, Mars and Smith. Take a short break. Come back with second half action here from Victoria Park. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. 31, a 10-point margin. East Geelong with the advantage of a breeze in this quarter. And meals just arrived, so you probably won't hear from Grubby. He's going to do some summary, but you're going to do that before you eat.
Well,
Grubby, before you go, is that the best party pie you've ever eaten?
Yes, they were magnificent. Bannockburn, put your hand up, mate. They were fantastic, those pies.
That's a corker.
The sponges, the Lamingtons. I tell you what, that's up with Anarchy. There you go.
Big statement.
I tell you what, that was magnificent. Great company, great people in there, and it was a pleasure to go into the Bannockburn rooms at half time. And a pleasure to talk to fellas like Dale Menzies and KO, the opposition too. KO's in there, and it was just so pleasant. It was fantastic.
The day's gone very well. Not going so well for Bannockburn, although they're being helped by some atrocious kicking for goal.
Well, if they kick straight east, I think the game's over. And to dominate a half like they did and only be 10 points in front, it's left the gate open if Bannockburn can lift. They have to lift, because if they don't lift, that few points will turn out to be a few goals. But Bannockburn lift, they are all right, but East Geelong, they've put on a great display so far.
Second half action's about to start. Ball in the air. Pap down there again. Lemper from the middle of the ground. So they go quickly back into attack. Kick with a nice, and mark has been taken out there. It was a good hand out there. And is that McGrath? I think it is. Yes, it is. And he will go back and very quickly in this third quarter again start things for East Geelong. So McGrath, he has got what for the day? One behind. And we'll need a kick of about 40 metres just to work the breeze. You would think inside just the left post would be the way to go, but a lot of starter there and the ball hasn't come back. Let's see how he goes. Kick is on the way. Gee, that's a floater.
I'll tell you what,
it's going to float offline and through for another minor score. So 5-12 now East Geelong. And it's 5-1 to the Bannockburn side.
Well, we're waiting for the ball to come back. A few surprises. Belmont 44, but Werribee are 62 at half-time. Anarchy have a 5-point lead over Corio at half-time. And Thompson are 16 points in front of Geelong West at half-time. Inverleigh 30 points in front of Winchelsea.
It's a great round of footy.
So Clifton brings the ball clubroom side of the ground again. Probably not the right side to bring it to, but the ball has hit the ground again. McIntyre is in. He is tackled. Ball not going to come out of there. Umpire will start up on the shelf. Grab if you're looking for something.
Knocked off me plate of food. There could be some ramifications there.
So the ball thrown up very quickly. Ball comes down in the contest. Picked up there. Lemper got himself through the contest. Tries to drag the ball back, but the ball won't get the mark, won't get the distance, and it is being pushed through for a rush behind. So they continue with this points, and it's now 5-13. You look at that, 18 scoring shots to 6, a 12-point margin. The ball to the back pocket, very slow play now. Bannockburn, a little possession football, goes to Broman, needs to get involved in the contest. He goes out wide to Ritchie, also needs to get involved, although he has two. Goes long towards centre wing. Rich, he's there. Ball comes to the front of the contest and is knocked over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in to take place.
Well, they are a bit short in the forward line. I tell you, they do down there is big Blake Miller be handy down in that forward line. He kick about 80 here today. And I did hear that he may be coming back next year, so we hope to see him back here next year, big Blake. Good on you, champ.
So boundary throw in far side of the ground. It's Cole and McLennan we've called most. McLennan takes it out of the ruck, hand passes back to Crombie, kicks quickly into the middle of the ground and finds Dowsett. Coming up, a low pass from Dowsett, and Vesekuru has come up. Quick little hand pass across, releases teammate there, kick forward. It was Ozelon's kick forward. Coming out, Andrew does a very good job. Hand passes out into the open to McIntyre. McIntyre to Mulville. A long, straight kick at last. They've finally got a lovely kick from the young fella on the left foot. 45-degree angle. He's pierced it. That's 6-13 now. Bannockburn 5-1-31. They're dominating again, Grubby.
Yeah, well, they are. They're still dominating. And I can't see, unless Bannockburn lift, I can't see them getting anywhere near him here. Because East Geelong are playing a good brand of footy. But, yeah, it was a good goal. Great goal and good football. But look, the bloke in the middle there, Watson Searle, the ball was going nowhere and he just got a hand and a nice, beautiful little tap to open it up again. And he's not a bad kid. So, good footy up the ground. They finally got what they should have been kicking earlier. And if they can kick straight, as I say, Bannockburn have to lift somewhere.
McLennan gets a lovely little palm, but Ritchie, who runs onto the ball, he's working his way through the pack, finally releases to Broman. Quick kick from Broman into the forward line. Spiller comes out. He's tackled dispossessed. He tries to come back again, does a very, very good job coming through his cord and a mass. Got one high. I thought the umpire had the same view as I did, but he didn't agree with me. We're going to have a ball up.
Then how did he have the same view?
Well, he's standing in the same line as I am, but he just seemed to miss it. Cole, McLennan, beautiful hand pass to Hole, who's impressed us in the first time we've seen him. Kicks forward, Watson Searle, but it's Measures who reads the ball beautifully on the left foot. Kicks out, tries to get to Robinson, punched away from him. Coming through there, Cole gets it across, but McIntyre does a very good job. Little left foot pass into a key spot. Coming out, Watson Searle swings round on the left. Long, low pass into the forward line. That is a beautiful pass to Smith. He drops it, gets around on the left foot, kicks back into the danger zone. Coming out to take the mark in the goal square.
Play on,
the umpire said play on. Crombie has a quick kick at goal, intercepted. Back to Watson Searle. He kicks across his body. He likes it, and that is another goal to East. Their 7th. 7-13-55. Bannockburn stuck on their half-time score, 5-1-31. It's nearly 5 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
Well, we could see this coming, couldn't we? We said that the game could have been over if they had kicked straight till half-time, and if they kicked straight after, then they could run away with this, and that's exactly what happened. And as I said with Watson Searle, he gave the nice tap out that got the ball running on the last goal, and he got a chance to kick one of his own this time. He's a good kid. And as I say, I've said it a few times, I don't know where Bannockburn are going to get their lift from, but it's got to come from somewhere.
So we're back in the middle with the umpire. Said just over 5 minutes in this third quarter. Ball is up in the air again. Cole this time gets the tap down, goes towards Middleton. Little kick towards the half-forward line. Leading the race for the ball is Ettridge. He's got some close company out there by Monaghan. Ball gets to the boundary line and over. We're going to have a throw-in to take place just outside forward 50. Bannockburn is attacking end.
And he's the brother of Bailey and Jaden.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So the ball is thrown in, and it's tapped to the front of the contest, trying to get out of the contest. It was Ettridge, got the handball away, ends up in the hands of Broman. He looks back towards centre forward, but Rich has filled the hole nicely.
Dropped it.
Well, he actually kept
did he
going.
try and handball it?
Maybe it was touched, and the umpire called play on.
Ooh,
Lepper's
you're
put
in
himself
trouble,
in a fair bit of trouble now, and he's been tackled, and the free kick will go to Spiller. Was first laid by Pataglia, and Hayden Spiller just finished off the work, and he will go back now and kick for goal. So they need to get this one, get themselves back and running. So Hayden Spiller, as he said, probably hasn't kicked too many during the course of the game or the season. And from about 20 metres out, not quite directly in front, kicks out goal. Umpire does not move. He has got his first. And that brings them back to 6-1 now. 6 goals, 1. Bannockburn, they trail East Geelong on 7-13. We've gone 7 minutes. De Grande Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Boy, oh boy, how badly did they need that? Because again, I think the inside 50s are well in front. I'd love to have taken them from the start because I reckon it'd be something like 50 to about 10. And they're probably lucky to, we still think, in the game, but they've got to put a couple together.
Spiller's done a good job as a pinch hitter.
Yeah, he has. But without being smart, I'd love the big fella down there in Fulton because he's very hard to match up on.
Back in the middle, McLennan and Cole. McLennan doesn't really touch it. A Lemper who will be keen to make amends after that poor effort there that's cost a goal for his team. Comes across to Belitho. He can't control the ball. Coming through is Hetherington. Hand passes back to the aforementioned Spiller. Kicks across his body, but that is intercepted. And the one grab of Cordner-Mars. Beautiful pick up below his knees to McIntyre, to Vesicuru. Marks right on centre wing. Looking for an option in the middle of the ground. Wait, he says. Hand passes back inboard to Mulville. He's on the right foot, looking for Dowsett. Dowsett holds front position, but can't hold the mark. Measures, cleans up at the back. To Middleton. Middleton gets it to Ritchie. He's tackled immediately, but breaks that tackle. Gets it back to Measures on the run. And the star veteran kicks to the middle of the ground. A poor kick by his standards. Coming out is Harding. He's not going to get there first. Young Monaghan's done a very good job. Reads it well. Picks up the crumb finally. Runs through the centre wing. Kicks into the forward line. Bounces over the back of the pack and will run towards the boundary line.
Not out
players getting out. Still bobbling away in there. Tackled now and over the line. Right underneath the light tower. Far side of the ground. Bannockburn 37. East Geelong 55. And we have just crossed 8.5 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter. Ball's thrown in again. McLennan at the front, but hand pass by Ritchie to Robinson. Both those players need to lift this quarter. Coming through there is Peters. He can't control the ball either. Tackled immediately, and there will be a ball up. It's about 40 metres out, directly in front of East Geelong's goal. They're in attack and leading by 18 points, and most of those are points. Menzies taps the ball down to Peters. Peters to Ritchie. Ritchie inside and releases Jervis. He can get away now. Jervis kicks towards centre half forward. There's no one there except Ryan Rich. The ball evades him, but a teammate there gets it across. That was Belitho. Back to Helmore. Helmore inside now, and Fanning, who kicks neatly down and finds his teammate there in McGrath. He's just inside the centre square, their side in attack. Quickly kicks into the forward line looking for Crombie. Ball bounces over the back of the pack. Coming through there for Bannockburn to win the ball is Clifton. He kicks back into the middle of the ground, but McLennan, the big ruckman, waiting a kick behind play. Clifton, who's standing 1 metre away, clearly wasn't the man who kicked that ball, as Dale Smith correctly points out.
I knew he was good. He's not that bloody good.
So the ball bobbles over the back attack, but Battaglia kicks. Fanning tries to make position at the front. Hetherington does a very good job. Wins possession to Ritchie. Ritchie hand passes to Middleton. He tries to break a tackle. But coming through to win the ball, Lemper. Battaglia does a very good job for Bannockburn to hold that play up. Try to get in. Lemper gets it out of the back. Andrew does a very good job. He's grabbed high. Umpire didn't see it. It's going to be... Oh, no. He's pinged him for holding the pill underneath all that. And that will be a free kick to Bannockburn's Battaglia. That is Lockie, this one. Kicks into the middle of the ground and finds Middleton for Bannockburn. They're starting to mount something now. Middleton looking for Spiller. Rich over the back. Punches as he does so regularly across to Jacobs. Jacobs back inside to Cordner-Mars, to McLennan. He kicks it looking for Menzies. He picks it up very neatly on the bounce to Jacobs. He gets it across to McGrath by hand. McGrath on the left foot. Kicks it on top of a nest of Bannockburn players. Reading the ball beautifully is Smith. Left foot kick from him towards goal, but across to the left-hand side through for another minor score. The 14th. For East Geelong this afternoon, 7:14:56. Bannockburn 6:1:37. 11 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
You talk about how badly they've kicked, but you've got to look at the other side of the coin too. Bannockburn 6-1. That's pretty good kicking. It's also kept them in the game just.
Yes, indeed.
Short kick in there, and the mark has been taken by Middleton. And he's been okay for Bannockburn today. A lot of the bulking work, and goes now towards the half or centre wing out in front. Spiller comes up, presents, takes the mark, and he has Battaglia.
So have a look down there now.
His numbers are back, and they needs to go. He's got options through the middle of the ground. He goes there now. Clifton comes up from behind, and he will take the mark. So
there's not one big bloke down there.
No, Spiller's got to be the next option, but he goes out wide to Henderson. Henderson has the ball. Again, Spiller's got to come at him, and he's going to do that now. He goes low and flat. Ball was intercepted there. Got the hand in there was Andrew. Went back and tried to collect it. Picked up by Tristan Battaglia. Goes over the top. Spiller boots the ball. Goes into their forward line. Bounces okay. Ball is going to end up in there. McClellan. Handball straight to Ramos. And Ramos will run into goal, and he will kick his first goal of the afternoon. If they say luck's of fortune, well, there's a fair bit there. 7-1 Bannockburn. They trail East Geelong on 7:14. 12 and a half gone. De Grande Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Well, they do say luck's a fortune, but they also say you got to be in it to win it. He was round the corner, he got a lucky one, but they're the ones that Bannockburn need to get themselves back into this game. And the reason early in the game, and I think Jackie was probably the biggest protagonist here, they were just kicking it high and long. And if you look at the Bannockburn forwards today, without Fulton and a couple of other blokes, they're too short to do that. So you've got to keep the ball low going in, and then you get a bloke who makes a mistake with the pressures on. But you can't just kick it long and high to a short forward line.
McLennan wins the tap, comes out the back to McIntyre. He can't get away. He's tackled.
He's in trouble.
Yes, I thought he's in trouble again. And Broman is going to take the free kick for Bannockburn. He quickly ran onto the right foot.
Oh, down the ground, umpire. And the trailing umpire has spotted it.
As indeed, so Bannockburn will have another shot for goal potentially. Harding's going back wanting the footy.
Gee, that was senseless.
Henderson is having a crack, but it's going to be Spiller.
That was just senseless to do that. There wasn't much in it. Jack Broman accentuated a little bit by going to ground, but he couldn't do that if you didn't make contact with him after he kicked the footy. So a silly thing to do when you're in control of the game.
Ricky.
Shot in goal for goal now. They had 13 points behind. Kicked the last goal, and Hayden Spiller, who we've talked about the unusual but effective role he's had as the only tall key forward, and that is a beautiful, beautiful kick for goal. That is the 8th for Bannockburn. 8-1-49. The visitors, East Geelong, 7-14. 56, 14 minutes into the third quarter. Gee, that was a big, big goal.
Yeah, it was, and I've got to go back to that down the ground free kick because you shouldn't be doing it. If you have a look at the Bannockburn players before that, they were a little bit lacklustre. They looked a little bit stuff. They kicked that second goal in a row because of that down the ground free kick, and they're up and about. They're jumping up. They're grabbing each other, and all of a sudden, the momentum swings back their way when it shouldn't have. So that bloke needs to have a good long look at himself. The coach needs to kick him up the bum and say, no more of that rubbish.
So ball from the middle of the ground, it's tapped down, goes towards Gordon Mars. He tries to keep possession of it, and unfortunately he left it behind, picked up there. Broman got it to Robinson. Robinson tried to get out of the contest. He dropped the ball. Umpire said he was trying, but he didn't make an effective contact. Free kick goes to Gordon Mars, so he's got the ball.
Disposal,
yep, that's it. And he's going to win possession, just defensive side of centre circle.
You should know that being a Geelong champion.
He now starts to play on by the umpire. He goes into their half-forward line. That's a good mark out the back by Bowden. So Bowden now takes the mark. He decides to go quickly back towards centre wing out in front. Harding, good hands above his head. Next target's got to be Spiller again. He leads at him now, but there's nothing behind him now. He's got nothing, so he needs to go towards Broman. He's waiting for Broman to make a move, and that's where he goes. Goes towards the boundary line. Broman's got to make the contest, does so, taps the ball back inside, needs support, but at ground level it's Monaghan. Sprints away, gives the handball to Dowsett, wins it back. He's got too much pace for the trailing Bannockburn chasers. The ball goes into their half-forward line. Coming out, mark is not taken, picked up there, Menzies. That was clean hands, missed the target, went back and collected it. Now he's in a bit of trouble, and I reckon he might have hurt himself too.
Yeah, now it's holding the ball. He has to play holding the ball, and he does.
Now don't be surprised if he's done some damage here too.
He might have hurt himself, yeah.
When he hit the ground, he don't know what he did. Maybe an elbow.
It's an arm.
Maybe that shoulder he's had. It's got the elbow strapped, and he's not going to put the other hand up either. So he might be in a bit of trouble. He's coming off the ground. Ball goes to the half-forward line. Lemper goes back. Good strong mark. Doesn't muck around. Goes and plays on. Goes straight back towards centre half-forward.
Great mark.
Jackson Searle. Watson Searle just about used the umpire as a leverage there. Took the mark, and it's through centre half-forward. Decides to go quickly into the forward line. That's a nice lead. Great kick. And Smith comes out and takes the mark. Not probably the preferred side to kick one from, but he's not a bad shot at goal.
That might be a dislocation. We might have seen the last of young Menzies for the day, I think. Let's just hope it's not for a number of weeks. Hoping they put it back in and he's okay.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
So Zach Smith from the pocket. He's a right footer, I think. And remember, is that right or is he a left footer? I can't remember now. We'll soon find out.
I think.
So he's got a difficult angle to work with. Right. Kicks at goal. And he likes it straight off the boot. That has gone straight through the middle. He gets his second goal of the afternoon. And the 8's now for East Geelong. They're 8-14. They lead Bannockburn 8-1. And we have gone just over 17 minutes to Grandy Cyclone Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Well, it's funny because after dominating the whole game and Bannockburn kicked two quick ones, all of a sudden the onus is back on East Geelong to keep playing the good footy that they were. And they did, and they responded. And let's just hope each side can keep responding, and we come up with a cliffhanger and have a great day, because it is good football. Obviously, it's a much, much better game than the standard you blokes saw last week, and so it should be with the top two of the top three sides playing, because who knows? One of these sides eventually may miss the top three, so it's very important you keep going.
Back in the middle now, Menzies' shoulder appears to be back in. Not sure whether we'll see him or not yet. Middle of the ground. McIntyre can't get away. Ball bobbles out to Middleton. Peters picks up a crumb, kicks straight up in the air. Rich does a really good job, gets a fist on the ball. Richie kicks across his body into open spaces. It's Battaglia. Spiller's going to come out, but Fanning gets a hand on it, gets it over the boundary line. Right in front of the social rooms here at Bannockburn. As Grubby said earlier, not a huge crowd by any means for a game of this quality. We're going to have a boundary throw in as a little Scotch mist comes over the ground.
I reckon that wind's blown those real black ones around us.
Yeah, hopefully you're right. McLennan takes it out of the ruck. The umpire said he was tackled high, and he's going to get a free kick for East Geelong in the back pocket. He's done a manful job in the ruck today against Cole. He's I think Menzies might have done a couple of forward line tap-outs, but he's done every other one. It's a lovely kick into the middle of the ground and finds Bolitho coming forward. That's a second fantastic kick of this afternoon from McLennan. That ball is kicked out towards Jacobs over the back of the pack, tapped forward by Bannockburn's Cole. He follows up again. Fanning's going to pick up the loose ball. Hand passes to Rich. Rich quickly kicks down the line, but it's out of bounds on the full. He's looking for a teammate there in Watson Searle, but didn't reach him before crossing the line. So Bannockburn win the ball back, far side of the ground. This little mist comes through. I think it's Cole, kicks long, high underneath, but it's going to land right in the arms of Fanning. He kicks into the middle of the ground. Vesicuru marks unattended. Almost in the true centre of the ground, he goes backwards to Monaghan. The young fella's got plenty of time. He can't take it cleanly, but plenty of time. Hand passes poorly over the top to Vesicuru. He's been good enough to get it on the run. Hand passes back to Mulville. He gets around on his left foot. Hand passes to his mate Ben Crombie. Kicks down the line. Looking for and finding on a good lead is McGrath. He's right on the 50-metre arc, but on a tight angle. Lovely little pass into the pocket looking for Watson Searle, and he finds him. He's on the wrong side for a left footer, but he does kick the ball beautifully. And he'll have a shot for goal. Probably about 25 metres out. Tightish angle for a left footer. Don't know what he's like kicking opposite foot across the body, but no, he's fancying the drop punt.
They do that pretty well, actually. There's quite a few times that's happened.
Leaves his foot. Umpire's very happy, but goes across the face a little bit. One behind only. They're 15th for the afternoon. 8:15.63. Bannockburn 8:1.49. 20 and a half minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter. Jack Broman has the ball for Bannockburn in the square. Looking for options. No one's
There's
really
just
moving.
No one. They're not moving at all.
There's a bit of run out of the pocket now. Broman sees Connor Jervis, but coming over the back is Menzies back on the ground. Can't hold the mark, but he's in and under. Jervis has dragged it under. He's been tackled, and the umpire says he's been pushed in the back, which was technically the right decision. Probably the first of many that could have been paid.
Fix that arm up straight away. That's great to see the kid back. You little beauty.
Popped it back in, so the pack flies Spiller over the back. Harding crumbs delightfully. Neat little pass, looking for a teammate. Punched away from him. Coming through is Hallamore for the East Geelong side. The ball has gone over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. It's about 60 metres round. Bannockburn in attack, trailing by 14 points. We're deep into De Grande's Sport and Cycle third quarter. McLennan and Hetherington. McLennan gets it down, looking for Andrew, who was pushed in the back by Robinson. Not paid. Robinson wins the ball. Hull tries to get hold of it. He can't. Being tackled and dragged down is Bolitho.
I don't think I'd have paid that either. I think he sort of dived forward, and the Bannockburn bloke did all he could not to jump in his back. Good umpiring.
McLennan gets a neat little hand down, but player not able to control it. Ettridge is grabbed immediately. He's not going anywhere.
Nah, bad decision.
And he's pinned him, and that is not a good decision.
Where is the prior opportunity in that? There was none at all.
McLennan gets it. He passes across and finds Bolitho. Bolitho kicks out, and it's Hull's mate position. Half-back flank. They're mounting something again, as they all have been happy to just take possession down this line. Hull kicks long, looking for Menzies. Just been involved. That is a very good attempt there by Cole. He can't control the mark. Quick kick out of the pack by McGrath, going forward, looking for Smith. Bowden's done a very good job to muscle him out of the way. Bowden carries the ball all the way through, rushing it through for behind. The 16th for East Geelong. Play on immediately out towards Broman. He has been
interference.
Fouled. The umpire said that is the case.
And I haven't even got the binoculars on to see that one.
And Jack Broman will take a free kick. Neat little pass from him, intercepted by Andrew, but Clifton picks up a crumb. Hand passes back to Bowden. Bowden to Broman. That is a poor kick from him, and he has found McGrath. Centre of the ground. And East Geelong mounting another attack. Both sides lacking tall timber, but that's where it's gone, up in the air, and that's a very good defensive mark for Bannockburn.
Not easy to keep your eye on the ball when you don't know what's coming behind you, but he did that beautifully.
Yeah, by Ladgrove. Ladgrove kicks out into the wing, coming through his Spiller. That's a very strong mark. This boy is growing in confidence as the day's gone on.
Played a good game.
In his new role, and the man he's replaced down there, who's wearing high vis, he's just come off the ground. That's Kieran Fulton. Punched away as that ball went forward over the boundary line. Boundary throw in, far side of the ground. East Geelong 15 points up, 24 minutes into the Durgandie Sport and Cycle third quarter.
So just waiting now for the umpire to get the ball from beyond the fence. He has it back in his hands. Ruckman about to do it. And it's going to be Hetherington's going to do the ruck work for Bannockburn, but again, it's the experienced McLennan gets to the front of the contest, and again, McIntyre runs away. His kick was smothered, went back and collected it, taken high. Free kick to that player. He'll look across the ground. Jacobs is there, but he's not going to use him just yet. Middleton comes up from behind, but he's now going to be called to play on by the umpire. He goes low and flat towards the half-forward line. Menzies leads in the race for the ball. Not too sure whether that came off his boot or not. Off his knee says the boundary umpire, so we're going to have a throw-in on the far side of the ground in between centre wing and half forward, East Geelong's attacking end. So Menzies doing the ruck work. Benny Cole back on the ground now doing the work for Bannockburn. Both players go at it, tap to the front of the contest. Again, player takes possession of the ball, but the ball is not going to come out of the tackle. And the umpire in quickly to regain possession of the ball. Thrown it up very quickly again. They go at it once again. Ball is tapped around in the contest. Ends up in the hands of McIntyre. That's a great kick going forward. Should have been. But again, it's picked up and a quick kick to the forward line. The mark has been taken out there. And McGrath comes up with the ball. So McGrath not too far away from the square. He's going to have a 15-metre shot at goal. Worse than 45 degree, I would think.
Yeah, I think the football gods served one up there, Grubby.
Yes, they did. I thought he missed that push, but they got it anyway, so...
So McGrath just to stretch the margin a little bit further now. Take it beyond 3 goals. Comes in, kicks it goal. It's a nice looking kick off the boot, and he's got it this time. Brent McGrath has his first of the afternoon. The 9th now for East Geelong. They are 9-16. They lead Bannockburn 8-1 and 26 minutes gone. Third quarter to Grandy Cycling Sports, third quarter scoreboard.
You have to be wrapped in the way that East Geelong have moved the footy, the way they've hit targets probably a bit more than Bannockburn, and they're still playing better football. Probably still not enough in front of what they've done on the field, which still opens the gate for Bannockburn to have a big last quarter. But you've got to give East Geelong credit. They've played the game to date in a real good manner. They've hit targets. They didn't kick well, but they've stayed in front.
McLennan and Cole again. McLennan deftly down with the left hand, but can't break clear from the pack. McIntyre's in and under it again. He can't get it. McLennan himself tries to pick it up. The umpire's letting it go.
Mate,
finally decided. How you go working through that sponge cake there, Richard?
No, I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, my blood sugar level is about 406, so I've had to give it away.
Oh, it's a tab out now. Bannockburn win it through Middleton, who's probably been nearly their best player today. He's kicked it quickly forward. Ettridge comes in. Crombie intercepts well. Long hand pass out, releases McIntyre. He cleverly palms off, but his kick hasn't gone far enough, and Henderson wins possession. Gets it back to teammate. Oh, that's tackled immediately by young Menzies, who's just come off the ground with a quick shoulder.
I didn't think there was any prior opportunity at all again. And this fellow here's paid a couple of them where I think the other two blokes have got it spot on all day. But there just was no prior opportunity. You can't just get it and go bang.
Hugh Menzies kicks into the forward line looking for McGrath. He can't get away. Good tackle by Vesicuri. Force a handball, comes back into space there. Bannockburn first on it, can't get clear. Ettridge picks it up. He hand passes quickly out to a teammate. The umpire has found a free kick, and it's going to Ettridge.
I've got to admit, I'm not quite sure what that
one was. Not quite sure what that was about. He sort of showed that he pushed a little bit, coming out looking for Spiller, but it's knocked away from him. Very good job by McIntyre, who's again played that honest, serviceable role this afternoon. He's just always there or thereabouts. A tough player, and he serves his club very, very well each week. So boundary throw in. 11-point lead to East Geelong at this stage. Ball's thrown in. McLennan again. The umpire's blown the whistle. Someone's being held. Cole was holding McIntyre. He wasn't complaining, so he reckons that's okay. McLennan, that's come off the side of the boot, and it has landed fortuitously for Connor Jervis for Bannockburn. He's taken the mark and immediately relieves pressure. Hetherington on his own on centre wing. Plenty of space out there. Runs onto the ball. Taps it clear to his advantage again. Still can't pick it up. Runs it over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in far side of the ground. We are just on 28 and a half minutes.
You know what? Josh Cole did hold him, but I think it was because of the fact that the boundary throw-in wasn't a good one, and it just made him in all sorts of trouble. Maybe they should have just called the throw-in back.
So come out at the back of the pack. Ramos kicks it forward. Will Middleton, who's pretty quiet this afternoon. Ryan Rich gets the ball quickly. Intercepted there by Ramos. Gets a hand pass across to Middleton. He kicks into the square, but going back, taking a relieving mark for East Geelong is Belifo, right on the three-quarter time siren. 8 goals, 149 Bannockburn. East Geelong 9-16-70, 11-point leaders. And that was the Grandi Sport and Cycle third quarter. Goal kickers Dale.
Yeah, goal kickers to three-quarter time. 2 to Ritchie, 2 to Spiller, 1 each to Harding, Jervis, Ramos and Hetherington. And for the East Geelong side, 2 each to Crombie, Watson, Searle and Smith, 1 each to Cordner-Mars, McGrath and Mulvale.
Come on, Super Coach, you got to come up with something, son.
Take a short break. When we come back, final caller action here from Victoria Park. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The last quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
We're back here at the Bannockburn Oval. For those listening prior to three-quarter time when I said East Geelong were leading by 11 points, my math's terrible because it's 21. 8-1-49, East Geelong 9-16-70. We're coming into the Morris Finance last quarter. 21 points, going to be hard to draw back. Oh, the way the game's been played, Grubby.
The way the game's been played, there's no chance in the world that they can win this game, Bannockburn, unless they make a couple of changes. We spoke to Smitty, who's, as we said, the Geelong champion.
Yep, astute coach.
Broman up forward, Spiller up forward. Put them all up there and just get the ball there and see if they can win, because those players, especially Jackie, he's not playing the greatest game he's ever played. So they're not losing that much. You can afford to do that. If they don't get it up there, well, they're going to get beat anyway.
They've gone close, Grub. We've got 2 of the other 3, but Richie's gone forward instead of Broman.
Okay, well, I probably would have went the other way myself. And I think that might happen. I had a look at Jackie Broman here, and he coughing a bit, and his eyes are bad. I don't know if he's 100%. He looked like he got
Dan
some
Measures
sort of
not definitely not 100%.
No, they look like a sort of a, I don't know how to say that word, a virus or something like that. But I nearly said that. And no disrespect to Manganelli and those blokes. And what's these blokes' name? Battaglia.
Battaglia.
Right?
Battaglia.
No, it's Battaglia.
Battaglia.
And I went to school with 8 of them, and they're all Battaglia.
Well, they might be up there. That's a different breed down this way,
No,
mate.
you don't pronounce the G's in the Italian language. You went to school, stupid. You come out the bloody same way by the looks of it. But
I coach these 2. I've always called them Battaglia.
well, that's you've always been wrong. Just like Rob keeps calling him Mulvale, and it's Mulvale. Sorry, Nana, but it's Mulvale. All East Geelong have got to do.
Who'd have thought we'd be getting
Mr. Dictionary,
English
yeah.
lessons
Yeah,
off
Mr.
rugby
Dictionary,
coaches?
yeah.
All the
He
Eagles have
writes his
got
own
to do
book.
here is play the same football that they've played all day. They've been the better side all day. They've nearly kicked themselves out of it early, but they kicked pretty straight that quarter. And just keep playing the footy they've played, and they'll win the game. And they'll go to, well, a good second spot, you would think, and then maybe even keep it.
Dale Smith, Geelong champion, take us into the last quarter.
Right, we're back in the middle of the ground. It's McLennan that gets the ball down, but it's intercepted there by Middleton. Locke, he can't get clear possession. The ball comes out, goes to Oslands, goes to McIntyre. McIntyre, good hands back to, that was, who was it?
Fanning.
Fanning, thank you very much. Ball goes out to centre wing. Jervy sweeps on the ball, tries to kick it off the ground. Mulvale, Heel picks the ball up. Little, he gets the handball away. He's going to go back and collect it once again on the left boot. He delivers the ball back to the full forward position. Great pair of hands there from Crombie. And he has taken the mark over Ryan Bowden and will go back and try and kick his 3rd goal of the afternoon.
Not easy to take a mark like that on Ryan Bowden, a very stout defender for quite a long time. That's a great effort from that kid.
And the other kid, Mulvale, who got it to him. Great to see them playing well.
Yeah. He hasn't played the greatest game I've seen him play. I've seen him play a couple of rippers, but he's just been thereabouts, and that was beautiful football from the kid.
So as they've done previously in the other 3 quarters, they've kicked the first, and he hasn't hit that one this time. It's offline. So a minor score, and that makes them 9-17 now, 2-2 to that player for the day. And Clifton's going to do the kicking in as he's done for most of the day. Numbers are going to come this side of the ground, and now he's going to go the other side. No, thank God he's seen this. He's come short, and I'm not too sure who he was going for, but he's kicked it straight into the hands of Lemper. He had options longer.
Yeah, I don't know. Their decision-making hasn't been as good as I've seen Bannockburn's either.
This, again, a chance for Lemper. He decides to go in short, and the mark has been taken by McIntyre. A little bit closer towards goal and probably a little bit straighter on the angle.
And from memory last year watching him, he's a very good kick. I don't mean to put the moz on him, but he is a good kick.
He doesn't kick it a long way, but he'll kick it straight.
Left foot up. So McIntyre comes in, kicks that goal.
No, he's dragged that.
And after that, he's allowed for the win, but probably a little bit too much. And it's now 9-18 for the East Geelong side. And Jackie Broman says, my turn to do the kicking in this time. So he's going to come clubroom side again, goes to the back pocket. Mark is taken out there by Bowden. This is Luke. So Luke Bowden now, he decides to go a little bit longer on his options. Cole's behind, Richie in front.
That's
and
a mark.
Paid that. Yes, he's paid it. So he had a fair bit of it as well. And well ridden there by Rich. He's going to go quickly back towards that forward pocket. Again, I'm not too sure that was the best option.
Kick.
And the option there was picked up there by Jackie Broman. He goes out wide. The mark will be taken out there by Cole, just inside the field of play. So Joshy Cole now called the play on by the umpire. Was he given 50? What was that for?
Oh, I didn't see it.
Either Rich didn't come back or he moved. I'm not too sure.
Didn't see anyone run in the 5 metres.
Well, it must have been because he... So
well, that's not 50 either.
Well, he's brought him up to centre wing now, so he's... Next kicks into the forward line. That's the important one. He decides to go long into the forward line. Not too sure the option is. Hetherington's out in front. Oh, he had a fair bit of it. Didn't finish off the mark. Tried to release the ball. Did so. Went back to Middleton. Tried to get the ball to Broman. Broman's now got it. He tries to force his way through. Umpire comes in as he is tackled and will take possession of the ball. Centre half forward position for the Bannockburn side this time, with McLennan doing the ruck work and Hetherington doing it for Bannockburn. The ball comes out to McIntyre. Not too sure where he wants to go. He needs to get rid of it and does so. Mulville, he gets the ball. He goes out towards centre wing. Cole's positioned himself nicely. Gets out the back. It's going to run towards Dowsett. Needs to pick the ball up. Does so. Got the handball back. Goes to Crombie. Crombie, God, did a nice bit of work.
I think he came over the boundary.
He did. Step back over the boundary line. Grub, you're right. And the money there. And we'll have a throw in the far side of the ground, centre wing.
So ball about to be thrown back in. McLennan and Cole again. What a great job McLennan's done this afternoon. Pretty much a sole hand. It's Cole who gets it over the back to Broman. He can't pick it up. Pushed out of the way, but fairly in the side of the body. Quick kick forward there. Coming out is Spiller, who's done a really good job. Picks it up on the half volley. No one can break clear of the pack. Coming through there is Andrew, who's done a really good job this afternoon. Spiller picks up an errant handball. Hand passes to Broman, and Broman pops it on the chest of Billy Ritchie on the lead. And he'll be 40 metres out directly in front. And based on the way he's kicked the ball all afternoon, the few that he's had, he's kicked it particularly well. So Brown and the black and gold sitting over there will be pretty keen on getting this through. They're 22 points behind, 6 minutes into the final quarter. This is the Morris Finance final quarter. So Billy Ritchie will kick from 40 metres. He's directly in front, as I said, comes off the boot nicely. The goal umpire does not move 1 millimetre, and that is the 9th goal for Bannockburn. 9-2-50. East Geelong 9-17-71. And we're 6 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter.
Well, as I said, his possession rate hasn't been fantastic today, Billy, and I've seen him play better games. But, boy, geez, he's kicked 3 goals and 3 very, very, very important goals that have actually kept the Tigers in this game. And if he can sneak another one, they're right back in it.
So back in the middle we go once again. Ruckman go at it. Ball tapped down this time by Cole. Hole goes through the middle and picked up there by Broman. Got the handball back towards Clifton. Put him under a little bit of pressure, but he's got some time and space. Goes out wide looking for Jervis. Ball gets out the back. He leads in the race for the ball. Picks it up now. Goes short into the half forward line. Good kick into the hands of Harding. Harding goes back towards Ritchie again. He's out in front and he's got a good pair of hands. Can he finish? He's asking someone to come at him. Just called the play on now by the umpire. Plays on and goes back towards goal. Spiller's in the goal square. Ball goes over the back. Good spoil from behind there. And I think that was Fanning who's pushed the ball through for a minor score. So 9-2 now to Bannockburn. 9-18 for the visitors in East Geelong. And they now have the ball in the full-back position. Cordner Mars, he is doing the kicking in.
Well, that was beautiful football by Connor Jervis. And we need to see that because he's been down a little bit today as well, Connor.
So he goes short to the back pocket. Rich out and takes the mark. Little chip back inside. Mark is taken there by Monaghan. So a little game of possession football. Lemper's got some space by himself. He's got it Bly, though, if he wants him, but now he's not too sure. So he's going to go a little bit longer towards centre wing. Ball comes out. Going towards the ball is Cole. He's up and takes the mark. So Cole's there. So Cole now looks at his options forward. Ritchie's pointing towards the pocket. That's where he goes. Kick wasn't directed there, but Ritchie stands under it. Ball comes out towards Ruckman. Handball goes over the top, back to McIntyre. He goes into the middle of the ground. Again, out in front. Menzies takes a good, strong mark. So Cole just a step behind and couldn't get there to effect the spoil. Hugh Menzies with the ball. So now just a little bit of time now to steadily things down. Come into the middle to Hole if he wants to. Going to go a little bit longer now.
Oh, a bit high.
Yeah, no, it's all right. He's got the protection from behind. Into the hands now. He goes out wide to Rich. Rich can hold things up. So he's got the ball on centre wings. A few options in the middle of the ground. McLennan's a big fella right in the middle of the ground. That wasn't a well-directed kick, and it's going to end up going towards Jervis. He has to sit underneath the ball. McLennan did nicely. Took the ball away. Tackle from Jervis. Brings him to ground. Umpire sits around him.
Ball up.
Yep, good call this time. No prior opportunity there.
Well,
tackle straight away.
I think we got the right umpire on that one. The other fella seems to be paying them a little bit, but he'll come good.
So again, the ball is thrown up at the centre half forward position, comes out, goes to Ramos. Ramos, or might have been Ladgrove, gets the ball over the top, out wide. The mark has been taken by Ettridge. Haven't seen much of this kid, but I tell you what he does pretty well.
Got a bit of class,
yeah. So Ettridge now goes longer towards their half forward line. Kick was out there. Rich didn't take the mark, affected the spoil. Took it back to the boundary line, got the handball away to Cordner Mars. He plays on. Strong tackle from behind. Ball goes to McIntyre. He kicks back, goes into their half forward line. Clean pick up there by Measures. Went one way, got the handball out, goes goes back towards Henderson. They feed the ball back to Henderson. He'll get the 1-2. A little bit of time and space. Chips up over the top. Mark taken by Broman. Got the handball away. But don't you, that was the right option. But they've kept the ball moving. Laddams, he was tackled. Brought. Handball comes out. Picked up there. McIntyre. No, yes, it might have been Fanning, actually, it was that had the ball. Goes back into their half-forward line. Measures, tries to read the flight of the ball. It bounces, goes over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in just outside forward 50. East Geelong's attacking end.
I asked this question earlier. Who's Laddams? I've looked through the list. I can't find him.
Ladgrave.
Oh, well, that's not Laddams.
Mangy's coming off with that shoulder out again, unfortunately.
No, you wouldn't risk him anymore today.
No, you
Put him
possibly
away.
could have left him off anyway. He's only a kid.
So the ball now goes back to the boundary line. We have another throw-in to take place. Ruckman will have to go on it once again. Smith sneaks on the back of the field here.
10 minutes into the final quarter. East Geelong desperately hanging on to a 15-point lead. McIntyre gets it down, but intercepting is Middleton. Kicks into the middle of the ground. Rich and Battaglia going for it. Rich trying to get position at the front of the pack. Does a very good job. Wins the ball. Loses it again, but out the back of the pack is Helmore. Gets it across to Jacobs. He's tackled immediately. Very good smother as well. Gets it to Fanning. Fanning can't break away.
That's too high. That's too high.
Ettridge.
It was a great smother, but I recommend kids at home don't smother it with your ear.
It's Mulville punches away. Get out to Monaghan. He's done a very good job again today. Evades another tackle. Hand passes to Mulville. 1-2 back to Monaghan. Mulvale in the to Crombie. Crombie kicks back to Rich over his head, and Crombie has kicked a point for Bannockburn. Slightly mistimely one. That's
lucky he didn't kick it down the Bannockburn bloke's throat.
The scoreboard says their 4th point for the afternoon. Dale has them at 9-3, but they are 14 points in to arrears at this particular stage against East Geelong. Tommy Cordner-Mars has the ball for East Geelong in the last line of defence. He's waiting for some options, and he finds one in Mulvale.
Haven't called him as much in the second half, Cordner-Mars.
No, he's had a quieter game. I think it's a luxury having him down in the back line. He'd be good in the middle of the ground for him. That's a beautiful long raking left foot kick out looking for McLennan. He gets it across by hand to Lemper. Lemper comes back inside to Crombie. Crombie's a neat little kick down the line is too far away from Dowsett and is over the line and out of bounds on the full far side of the ground. 13-point lead now to East Geelong.
Is the other Mars not playing?
No.
No, it's not. And we're 12 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter, just waiting for the ball to come back out of the car park. It's not really a crowd, is it? So it's Clifton. Clifton, a little low drop punt. That's a very clever one. He finds Measures, who's wandered down and made position on the wing. And the champion local footballer and veteran Daniel Measures has it. Kicks long into the forward pocket looking for Spiller, who's been very good this afternoon. It's knocked away from him over the boundary line. About 35-40 metres round from the Bannockburn goal. They're 15 points in arrears, 12.5 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter.
So ball to be thrown back in, as he said, pretty much on the forward 50, backing Bannockburn's attacking end.
If they're going to win the game, they have to get a goal now. Otherwise, it'll be just a bridge too far.
So the ball's thrown back in. Umpire sees the ball out the back. Going to run, picked up there. Ledgrove kicks the ball back inside, goes towards Battaglia. He hasn't seen much of it this afternoon either. Ball picked up, good hands there. Out the back, goes to Bowden. Bowden straightens himself up, goes towards goal. But he is offline through for a minor score. So 9-4 now, I think, to the Bannockburn side. And it's... Actually, it's 9-5. They might be right. I've got 5 behinds there.
That was terrific play, Willie Middleton, who's been down a little bit on his normal as well, but it was a good play then.
Kicking in again, Cordner-Mars. They've used the short option so far in the game. This time he's going to have to go a little bit longer and does so. Maybe a little bit indirected. Ball comes to the front of the contest. Again, numbers required. Picked up by Dowsett. Tries to get the handball outside. Went backwards. It's going to work out okay. It's into the hands of McLennan, and he goes towards the half-forward line. Getting out the back. Vesakuru leads in the race for the ball. Right with him.
Don't grab him,
and it's going to be picked up. Vesakuru has been paid the advantage. He took it and plays on. Kicks into the forward line. That's a great kick. And the mark will be taken out there by Watson Searle. So he can go back. And a kick towards goal.
Got himself out of trouble there, Vesakura. He should have stopped when he got the free kick and went back, but he Played on, but he was lucky enough to get away with it. And this bloke can kick too.
So Watson Searle has 2 for the afternoon, can kick his 3rd. And this may just put it beyond Bannockburn. So he comes in now. He's where he started. It's not going to come back anywhere near far enough, and it's through for another minor score.
It keeps him in it.
They'll just about win it in points the way they're going. 9-19 to the East Geelong side. 9-5 Bannockburn. We've gone just on 13.5 minutes final quarter.
Colin Jervis marks the kick in from Clifton. Kicks it across into the back pocket, and Jai Robinson marks for Bannockburn. Kicks down the line looking for Spiller. Punched away by Rich. Coming through very strongly there for Bannockburn is Andrew. He can't break up for East Geelong. Sorry, he can't break free, and they can have a ball up. It's about 60 metres out from the East Geelong goal. They're in attack and leading by 15 points. McLennan again gets a neat little tap. Robinson picks it up, but he's pushed over the boundary line quite legally, and we'll have another throw in. Inverleith skipped away 64 points in front of Winchelsea. Thompson still holding Western Bay by 23 points. And Karaya have got control of their game over Anarchy. They're 41 points in front there. Cole gets the tap down to Robinson. He tries to break free, coming through very strongly.
You idiot.
I'll get to it. We'll have another ball up as we get to the main game. Belmont Lions 48, Werribee 83.
That's
There's still 6 goals clear at that particular game. Jai Robinson is tackled very quickly, bobbles out of his hand. Broman trying to get the ball. The ball's over the boundary line again. I reckon East will be happy with this. We're nearly 16 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter, and they're hanging on to a 15-point lead. 3 goals required by the home side. But at this stage, East are in attack. McLennan and Cole both shield the sun. McLennan gets a second go in it. Hand passes away. The umpire said he's got a high tackle.
Oh, turn it up. No way.
So McLennan has one possession with a free kick. He kicks a very horrible up and under, and in front, punched away from Broman by Vesekuru. A very handy little save at that particular point. Robinson kicks forward. And speaking of, you mentioned early, one grabber is Corden Mars. What a great strong mark that was.
Yeah, and even on the ground, in the air, he takes one grab, this kid.
Superb. He's gone for the old torpedo in space, and it's landed beautifully because Brent McGrath has come across and taken a very timely chest mark for East Geelong. And he will have a kick for goal from about 45 metres out, and they can either kick their 20th behind or the match-winning goal. It's entirely in his hands.
Well, not really. You can kick it out the full and not make the distance. I think it all comes back to that free kick. That was holding the ball against McLennan. The kid tackling him was about 4 foot lower than him. I don't know how he got him high, but...
So McGrath now, 45-degree angle. He'll kick from about 45 metres out. Leaves the boot poorly.
And a bad to the full.
He's
struck in for their 20th behind for the afternoon. 9 goals, 20, 74 Bannockburn. 9 goals, 4, 58, 16 points. 17.5 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter.
So Broman now kicks out to the back pocket. Mark is taken out there. Player there was Clifton, shields his eyes. He's got Broman if he wants to go short again. He's going to use him now by hand. No, decides to go a little bit further down the field. Ryan Rich has taken a good mark there, just read the nice flight of the ball, and he will go back and transfer play back into their half-forward line. Mark is taken out there. No, it's not. Osland's had it. The ball was over the boundary line anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Free kick going to Bannockburn. So Jackie Broman now. As I said, we get towards the 17-minute mark of the quarter. They need to move things and do things pretty correctly now. He decides to go low and flat. Kick is okay. Hetherington come out, couldn't take the mark, kicked further afield. That was okay. It's worked okay. Picked up there. Ettridge puts the ball back into their forward line. Richie is there. Protected the space nicely. Got the handball back to Battaglia. He goes into the forward line, going to read the flight of the ball was Harding. Couldn't make the mark. Ball is now at ground level. Picked up outside. Monaghan to Crombie. Crombie now working from defence. Goes long and flat into the forward line, but Measures is there. Ooh. He didn't read that quite nicely, but he's ended up with the ball. He goes back to Clifton back to Broman back towards centre wing, and Mars, or Corden Mars I should say, he has taken the mark, and he will just settle things down for East Geelong. A little bit of breathing space now.
He actually bumped the runner over, the Bannockburn runner over then too. It was a bit nasty.
So he kicks the ball back into their forward line, coming out. McGrath takes possession, swivels. what's name's done his shoulder again just by not even standing there. Picked up by Smith, and he goes towards goal, and he hits the post.
Look,
there's another one.
For God's sake, leave him off the ground.
9:21.
You're just going to hurt it worse.
East Geelong,
leave him off.
9-5. 9-5.
Jesus, the kid's, 17 years old? They put him back on 3 times with a crook arm. Just leave the kid off.
So the ball's going back into their forward line quickly now. Reading the fly of the ball was Measures. Measures comes across. He's got players this side of the ground. He goes to Robinson. Robinson's got a player further afield. Decides to take on the chaser. Put himself under a little bit of pressure. Got the kick away. Didn't travel too far. Ball runs towards the boundary line. And Andrews chases it over. We'll have a throw in to take place.
He come through and bumped the Bannockburn runner. And not the big fella, the little fella. I wish I was doing the run, and the elbow would have went straight into his chin.
Ball comes out of the back of the contest, picked up there, ends up in the hands of Rich. Oh, he went to kick the ball, missed it. Ball goes forward and goes to the hands of Middleton. So Willie Middleton gives the handball out, goes to Ladham, or what's his name? Ladgrove. Yeah, he's put himself under a bit of pressure, and he just needed to move the ball on, but didn't do it quickly enough. It was tackled by the ruckman in McLennan. McLennan now chips the ball and has Cord the Mars out there by himself. He can go over the top, and we'll do that now to Crombie. Crombie can turn and run, gives the handball straight away to Andrew, runs to the pocket, goes towards goal, and I think he has missed again. 9:22. 9-5 Bannockburn, and we have gone just on 20 minutes. Final quarter, Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Young Ramos, he just held on to it too long, didn't he? He's looking for options, and there just wasn't any coming.
So Bannockburn kick the ball back in very close to the boundary line. Corden Amas battles it very well against Cole to make sure the ball is neutral over the boundary line.
Well, he did do very well too, because he had absolutely no intentions of going for the mark. He just made sure the other fella didn't get it.
He did a very good job. The ball's thrown back in. Again, East Geelong in attack. McLennan gets it, but Cole picks up a crumb, kicks it forward very quickly. Rich uses his body. The umpire said incorrectly, and he's been penalised.
He didn't push him. It might have been a touch early, Rob.
And Ettridge is going to take the free kick. Long, low punt kick into the forward line. Going across Beloitho. Can't take the mark. Kicked off the ground by Ritchie into some space. Bannockburn's Hetherington comes out. Can't control the ball coming through. I think there's Lemper kicks it across to Crombie. Crombie gets it across to his good mate, Mulvale.
Good boy. Well done.
Flank. And he has marked, and he's had a really good second half. This young fella kicks beautifully with the left foot down the line. Cole comes across, can't take the mark. Crombie picks it up again, hand passes it in the path of Dowsett. Dowsett's got a little bit of room, but he's tackled. Hand passes it forward towards Smith. He can't break away. It is Bowden for Bannockburn. Gets it across to Middleton. He kicks long down the line looking for Spiller. Mulvale punches away. Connor Jervis picks up the crumb. He has to hand pass forward as he was tackled by McIntyre. Hole picks up the crumbs. A neat little pass from him down the line, but intercepting is Middleton. Lockie Middleton, and he kicks long down the line, coming across and taking a... Oh, no, not quite. Monaghan almost held the mark. Gets it across to Ladgrove. He kicks it in a forward pocket. Punched away very timely there by Helmore, I think it is. And he's going to get a free kick for a hold. And Mitch Helmore, very timely again for East Geelong. Nice little pass up to centre half back. And the ruckman, Tim McLennan, has come down to make position. He's kicked across into the pocket, and Mulvale takes the mark. He's racked up a few possessions in the second half, this young fella. Very much the future of the club.
Future of the club. All 3 or 4 of them are.
Punched away by Cole. Jai Robinson gets the ball, evades a couple of tackles, hand passes back to Cole. The 1-2 to Robinson. He kicks quickly down. Players settling there, and that's a really good mark, I think, to Hetherington.
Yeah, you got
punched away late by Monaghan, but the umpires paid that chest mark. We're 23 and a half minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter. This is really the last chance. Jervis picks up a crumb, kicks across the body, but they've got the same problem as well. Hits the big stick. 6th maybe behind for the afternoon for Bannockburn, when the scoreboard showing 9-5, 59, East Geelong 9-22, 76, 17-point margin. And we are 24 minutes into the final quarter here at the Bannockburn Oval. It's the Morris Finance final quarter.
So Cordemars decides to go long and outside 50. That's a great kick. Gets towards centre wing. Out the back of the contest. Ball is tapped towards Broman. Went through his legs. It's going to be picked up. It wasn't picked up there by the East Geelong player. And it's going to be now a Stacks on the mill.
It's got to be holding the ball against Jack Broman. He hasn't paid it.
He actually let it go then.
Yeah,
so
but
he's
to dive underneath the pack like that and not being able to get it out, I think that was holding the ball against Jackie.
So the ball is thrown up very quickly there by the umpire. Comes out the back, kicked off the ground. Again, they run towards the ball. Hole picks the ball up, tries to get the handball out the back and does so. Going as far as his teammate there in Andrew. He's tackled, brought to ground. And again, a ball up to take place.
And it's a terrible rule, that, for blokes like Broman, because he's one of those blokes that wants the ball more than anybody, and you dive at it to get it, and you get free kicks paid against you sometimes.
So from the contest, goal runs out. Lemper picks the ball up, got around, got the handball away, freed things up again. East Geelong, a little bit more zest for the ball there over the far side, and it's going to be held up once again. So they're holding things up. They need to clear this pack, Bannockburn, and get the ball running. Haven't been able to do it of late.
They're just not doing enough, the Tigers, are they? They've had enough chances to get a goal closer, and they just haven't been able to manage it.
There's a free kick being given. I'm not too sure what that was for.
Well, that's 50, because I heard that F&L from here, from the Bannockburn boy. So that's got to be 50.
Yeah, that's probably dissent, isn't it?
Oh, it's got to be dissent.
So a little bit of ball control now from the East Geelong side. They can do this. They can afford to do it. They've got a good margin. Monahan now decides to go long and down to the forward line, going across. Andrew trying to get up over the top. Ball runs towards Dowse, but now it's over the boundary line, so we're going to have a throw-in to take place. Far side of the ground.
How long to go?
We've gone 25, Grubbs. So
3 at most.
Yeah, that point, and if they'd have been able to manage that when we'd have had an absolute cliffhanger, we'd be all excited. But it looks like
it's
it's
one goal, 5 to 6 behinds in the last quarter.
Yeah, it's just going to run its course now, unfortunately. But
blood rule, is it?
Must be, because he can't go on any other way unless it's a stretcher. So it must be a blood rule. And he looks to me like he's almost out in his feet, the big fella.
Snick across the eye.
Yeah.
So waiting for a boundary throw in far side of the ground. It's McLennan and the other Cole. And McLennan lays it down. Hole picks it up. Can't break away from the pack. Coming through very strongly is Lemper trying to get the ball. It's Andrew who's been a dogged little fighter into the bottom of the pack all afternoon for his club. He's got a neutral ball up. And this is all time, which is very important. 27 minutes gone now. I don't think any quarters touched 30. So 2.5 left at most. At least 3 goals to be kicked. Bannockburn trying to break through Jervis. He got one high, I think. Now the umpire said play on, kick into the forward line. Vesekuru breaks out of the pack, runs across and snaps across, and that is definitely the sealer. And Ruben Vesekuru has played a pretty serviceable game as a permanent small forward. He's laid a lot of tackles and done some deft kicking, and that's a nice little reward for him, Grubby. And has sealed the game.
Yeah, well, as I say, they were just hanging in there. It was the game was just about to run its course, and it most certainly has run its course now because there's, up until then, a couple of quick goals and we're back in the exciting stage, but that one goes the other way. And unfortunately, at 27-minute marks, that's all she wrote, I reckon.
It's pretty much so. So back with the umpire in the middle of the ground. Cole doing the ruck work. McLennan also in there. McLennan gets the ball down. Lemper just taps it further afield. Andrews going to run onto the ball. Picks the ball up. Got the handball away. Mulville, he now gets the ball. He goes long into the forward line. Smith front position. Protected the space nicely. Went back after him. But Dowsett was there. I think he left it behind. I think Smith had another crack, but now it's gone through for another minor score. So it's going to be 23 behinds now, 10-23 East Geelong, 9-6 to Bannockburn. They've got the ball in the back pocket. Clifton Blitz the ball back in as a siren sounds, and that will end the game. So not the East Geelong will run out 10-23-83. They'll beat Bannockburn 9-6. 60, could be 9-5, we're not too sure on that, but we won't worry about that too much. It's not going to affect the game. Goal kickers for the home side, Billy Ritchie with 3, Spiller with 2, Harding, Jervis and Ramos Wall 1 each, and for East Geelong 2 to Crombie, 2 to Watson Searle, 2 to Smith, 1 each to Corder Mars, McGrath, Mulvale and Vesakuru. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back and grab 94.7 The Pulse, your home for local football.
Oval, where the home side have been embarrassed, I would say. 14 shots a goal today. They kicked 9 goals, 5 we reckon. But the opposition, East Geelong, has kicked 10 goals, 23. That's 33 shots to 14. That is a very serious spifflication, in the words of the great Rex Hunt. Grubby, you'll be delighted to know that your old side, Werribee, has pulled away even further from East Belmont, the Belmont Lions, and that's a good win. We've got a bit of a lock at the Thompson game. We're not quite sure what happened there, and Inverleigh were about 40 points in front of Winchelsea. But the big surprise for me today, not so much the winner here, but the margin and the way the game was played was quite a shock.
Yeah, well, two things first. Mick O'Leary might hear me because he might be listening up in the wherever he is up north somewhere. So good on you, Mick. And Shawnee, well, he's let the club down badly. He's gone to Geelong and Richmond behind the glass rather than come out to Victoria Park. So Shawnee, that's one black mark against you. And the other big dilemma I've got, I just don't know whether to sing the Werribee Central song or the Carlton one. So I don't know yet. We'll wait till the end of the broadcast.
I'll just sing both.
I might sing both before we finish. Let's get back to this game. Yes, it really was a demolition, although in the finish it wasn't on the scoreboard because of bad kicking. Now, a lot of times you can put that down to fierce pressure from the defence, and I think that was the case early. They were ferocious down there. But there was a couple of goals that they probably should have kicked, and really, if they kick straight, the game's over at half time. But to Bannockburn's credit, even though they were getting outplayed, I swallowed a fly. Even though they were getting outplayed, they hung in there, and probably halfway through the last quarter, a couple of quick goals could have turned the game, and they could have got away with it. But East Geelong was just too good on the day. As I said earlier, horror to think how many inside 50s it was to East Geelong and how many to Bannockburn, because it would have been triple. They just beat them all the way around the ground. They beat them in the middle. The only thing with Bannockburn can hold their hat on here for the rest of the year is the fact that nearly all their really good players didn't play well. You know, Jackie kept trying his best and did a few things late, but he was a little bit down. Billy Ritchie, he was down, but he kicked 3. So, you know, well done to him. Connor Jervis was down a little bit.
Battaglia.
Both Battaglias probably struggled a little bit today. They were in it, but they just couldn't, for some reason, grab hold of it. And, you know, Willie Middleton. I don't think I've seen Willie play a bad game. I have now, because he struggled today. He didn't play his best today. Lockie was okay. Excuse me. Lockie was okay, but can play better. And Jai Robinson played okay. But when you play big sides and good sides, your good players have all got to play well. And they could easily turn the tables later down the track in the final, maybe, if all these players play well. They'll get Kieran Fulton back, which is a big thing, because poor old Cole, he was almost out on his feet, and he rucked all day against McLennan and did well early, but probably lost reasonably badly in the finish. And with Fulton to come into the ruck, after what he's done in the forward line, that's a big help. But then again, I reckon one of the better players that I watch play at East Geelong is Lowe. And I don't know whether he's coming back. I hope he is, because I love watching him.
Past there, so.
Yeah, I hope he's back shortly in that. Just, look, they beat him easy, but just don't write the Bannockburn Tigers off at the minute. There's still a lot of games to go, a lot of water under the bridge until we get out to St Albans in the finals. Bannockburn have proved that they're final side, so don't be too disheartened that they've put in a bad one. I tell you what, I'd rather put in a bad one in round 11 than in the second semi-final or a grand final. So I think Ronnie Pilgrim's just got to write this one off and say, listen, the fact of the matter is they outplayed us. You blokes didn't play your best footy. You're going to get another chance. But to East, they've got to be very, very, very happy with the way they played. I could go through the East side and pick 18 best players. That's how good they were. They all didn't do it for 4 quarters, but as it sort of stopped a little bit, you got Watson Searle come in and do some nice stuff. Yui Menzies did some nice stuff, and I just, God, hope his shoulder's all right. They probably should have left him off. Mulvale early was reasonable. In the second half, he was very, very good. And all these blokes who, Corden the Mast was really good most of the day. He had a period in the second half where he dropped away a little bit, and then he came back and went bang, bang, bang on 7 or 8 touches in a row. 1 touches, the grabs there. I love watching blokes who grab it once and keep going. They don't fumble it, they don't muck around with it, and he's like that. I don't know about me votes, so I'm going to have a look at me votes in a minute. But East Geelong, you got to stand up and take a bow of the way you played the game today, because to me, and as I say, they beat Inverleigh when we saw them. They weren't that great against Belpost Hill.
They were shocking against Belpost Hill.
Yeah, I know. But I tell you what, the last 2 times I've seen them, pat yourselves on the back, knuckle down, because you fellas are a top side in the GDFL this year.
No doubt about it. Now, I know you've got a great interest in the Geelong Football League. North Shore defeated Lara by 10 points this afternoon.
Yeah, and that's... Look, it's good that they win, but I'll tell you what else is good. It's good that they beat Lara by about 100 and something points in round 1, and it just shows that sides down the bottom there can improve. They've been improving every week, Lara, and it's a good effort from North Shore, but well done to Lara for bridging that gap.
Colac, about 38 points over St Joey's. Bell Park were a long way down early, but they've got back. Newtown bad, kicking 10-20, but Bell Park hung in 10-10. South Bowen have been smashed by Grovedale.
Now, that's a big turn up for the books. Well done, Fraser and Clarkey out there. Great stuff, boys.
And St Mary's, as expected, 19-18, 132. St Albans, 6-2, 30. We'll get the other...
There's a game tomorrow on, too, in there.
Yeah, I believe so.
Is that Western
someone. And I'll go back and see if we've had updated for the other final scores in the Geelong district. We've got the score here, 9-5-59, Bannockburn, Geelong East, 10 goals, 23, 24-point winners. Inverleigh, 15-17, 107. Winchelsea, 8-14, 62. We haven't got an update for some time, but Thompson were 23 points in front of West. That's probably early third quarter. And Corio, 15-4, 94. Anarchy 7-11, 53, and Grubby's Mob 15-13, 103. Belmont Lions 9-14, 68. So we'll put that down as a definite win to Werribee.
Just as a matter of fact, and for no real reason, but have you got any AFL scores? Because me mate Hodgie has just texted me, great day, da-da-da-da-da. So
I'm going to start the voting off. You blokes who actually know what you're talking about can get yours together.
What, are you going to get Jules and that to do it?
I thought about giving one vote to Lachlan Middleton. I thought was Bannockburn's best player, but in the end I thought, no, they didn't play well enough. I'm not going to give him any. I'm going to give one vote to Tom Cordner-Mars, who, apart from that little lull in the third quarter, he was superb in the first half. He was a really good, solid player in the last quarter when the game needed to be held up, and I'm going to give him a vote. I'm going to give 2 votes to a young fellow who impressed us at Inverleigh and impressed us again today. That's Harry Monaghan, number 4, skinny little back flanker. He was really, really good again today. Loved this game. And I just was taken by young Ben Crombie. I thought he was an outstanding player all day. Did some really cool, calm things. Kicks it well. Wins possession. Not a big player, but I thought he was the best player on the ground today for the East Geelong side.
Smithy's got no idea.
No,
because he's trying to copy mine.
I've got mine written down already. Don't worry
go
about
on
that. No, I want to hear yours first.
All right, no worries. I gave 1 vote to Ryan Rich. I thought he was magnificent across the half-back line, over, almost impassable, and I thought he was terrific. I gave 2 votes to the big fella in the ruck. He just gave the first use of the ball all day. Young Cole kept up with him for a while, but he just couldn't go the distance, and I thought McLennan was one of the differences of the 2 teams. And I gave 3 votes, and I just hate to admit this because I've agreed with the bloke that knows nothing about it, but I've given 3 votes to Crombie. I thought he was terrific.
Well, I've given 1 vote to Ben Crombie. I thought his game was pretty good most of the day. I thought for early in the game, I gave 2 votes to Billy Andrew. I thought he was the one that got the generation from the middle of the ground.
Well, you were right, Grubby. You said there were 18 best players for East. We've got 8 of them so far.
And the 3rd vote I gave to Tim McLennan because I think without him in the middle of the ground and his ruck work all day, then East Geelong may have been in a little bit of trouble. But he was instrumental. Not only did he ruck well, but he got the ball around the ground as well, and that's good for a ruckman, and he used it well for a big bloke. So
that's not bad for you, really, because I think it doesn't matter if you get him the wrong way round.
As long as you get him.
Whoever gets him. And I agree with McLennan. I thought Crombie was better than that, as did Rob, but I thought he was better than the one. And who was the other one?
Billy Andrew.
Look, he played good footy too, and I reckon I've gone through another 7. The other bloke you said, Cordner-Mars, Lemper was pretty good.
Dowsett started
Dowsett was pretty
half.
good,
Yep.
Well, we was there when the game was to be won.
Yeah, we're struggling to get a Bannockburn player in there.
Yeah, McGrath took some marks and was pretty good. Vesakuru was dangerous and was pretty good.
McIntyre was good.
McIntyre. You know, even Oslerlands did some nice work early, and I've never heard of him.
And Fanning was good.
Fanning was good. Look, yeah, you're right, but I'd say that the money's gone to Crombie.
Yeah, the Wagyu beef at the Yards Hotel, the beautiful Yards Hotel, Church Street, Geelong West. Great sponsors
Is
of
he
the
old enough to get in?
Player of the day. Yeah, we better check to see if he can.
Well, I've just sent him McDonald's.
No, we think he might be on the right side of 18 years of age. So Ben Crombie, one of the 3 teenagers in the side today for East Geelong, and one of half a dozen they've got at the club that have played senior footy recently. They will be thrilled to bits with them. And young Austin Mulvale, who did a marvellous job also. The lovely, silky left footer did some really good stuff through the game as well.
You know what I like about him, right? I thought his first half he was down. From what I've seen, seen him play, I thought he was down, and it's real easy for a kid who's playing probably his first full season. I'd have to say, I've seen your footy. I know he got a couple of games last year whilst playing in the under-18s. But in his first full season, you come up against the number 2 side of the competition at their home ground. At half-time, you're just down a little bit. It's so easy to say, oh, well, I'll go all right next week. But he didn't do that. He put his head down and his arse up, and he played a really good second half. And it just shows to me that him, young Menzies keep coming back on the ground. Crombie, the way they played, they're not only good players, but they've got a hell of a lot of character. And that's what Ben Bosley, was it Bosley?
Yes.
That's what he's building out here at East Geelong. I'm not sure if it's this year, but it could be, and definitely in the next year and the year after. You build character in your club, not just rely on ability. And I think they're going the right way about it, and well done, East Geelong.
Very, very good. Now, I probably already know the answer to the question, but where are we going next week, gentlemen?
Well, I think we're coming back here, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Oh, well, all right, boss. All right, boss.
I quite enjoyed the trip today. It was quite nice.
Tell you what, I hope the afternoon teas is the same as last. Today it'll be a ball.
And I reckon the crowd might be a bit different next week.
I think it might be. Well, we've pumped their tyres up for the afternoon tea, so it's got to be as good. We should just check with the technicians to make sure everything went smooth here at Bannockburn. No troubles at all.
I got texts from Fano. Let me do this. And you know what a critic he is. He can be a real critic at times, Fano.
You can.
But Fano writes, keep that. Oh no, not that one.
No, don't say that.
Not that one. Vision perfect. Radio 20 seconds ahead of live stream. Well, I know that because I listened to it last week, Fano, you dill. And this GDFL coverage is fantastic. So the whole thing worked well today. Well enough for us to come back next week. And to Jules and the boys, great effort. Yeah. Great effort.
Superb work.
Parking was sensational.
Parking was good. So just to confirm the other scores.
Well, when they got the L plates off, it was all right.
We're not quite sure if they're final, but Werribee 103, Belmont 68, Anarchy 53, Corio 94. So the Wooden Spoon heading out to Footrot Flats. No updates since Geelong West were 55 and Thompson 78. But we have final score, Inverleigh 106, Winchelsea 70. So the Blues came back hard. They were 64 points at one stage down and got done by 36.
They're hanging in there, Winch.
They hang in there. And the game here today, the match of the day, 10 goals, 23 to East Geelong. 33 shots at goal, Bannockburn 9-5, 59. It was a really good game of footy. I don't think it's quite the best we've seen this year, but for 2 versus 3, lived up to expectations, Dale.
Yeah, no, as I said, it was a good game of football. It's as I said, there was a lot of things that East Geelong did well all day, whereas Bannockburn, as I said, probably failed to really get the hold of any part of the game. In bits and pieces, yes, but not for any extended period, which is a credit to the East Geelong side. So they definitely deserve the win this afternoon. As I said, if their kicking had been done early at half-time, we might have stayed in there, grub and stayed with the half-time spread and not come back.
The game would have been over.
Yeah.
But, as you said, I reckon it was the third quarter. Bannockburn went bang, bang. I think it was a down-the-ground free kick, a silly one. And then they kicked another one, and you could see the lift in Bannockburn, and I thought to myself, well, here, let's see if East Geelong can handle this. By geez, they handled it perfectly. They really did.
Those games where you're not kicking well and you do all the work for little reward, and sometimes you can drop the bundle, but they answered every challenge all day, which makes them look like a serious finals contender, without doubt.
There's no doubt about that. And as I say, given the fact that the Bannockburn boys, their best players didn't play that well, I'm probably taking a little bit away from the way Ben coaches and the way East Geelong played, because they made them play that way. They made them not play their best football. It's not just the fact that, we didn't play well. But you watch some sides, whether they win or lose, and you come away with something in your head that, yeah, they're okay, or I don't like their chances. But I come away, at least East Geelong today, thinking I like them. I just love the way they play football. They don't use it all the time, but they go this pass, and then come into the middle. They did that last year, and when sides put pressure on them, it all fell apart without a plan B. Well, guess what? It works for a while, and then they got a plan B, and a plan C, and a plan D as well. They're the real deal. We've seen them beat Inverleigh. We've now seen them beat Bannockburn, and I think they can go all the way if they continue to play this football.
Well, there are thousands and thousands of people listening to the Pulse now, just waiting for Elvis Presley to come on.
Well, there's 2 songs that have to be said first.
Dun, 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 dun.
Come on, boys, make a noise. I'll combine them, that'll do me. I won't carry on.
Very well done. Robert Eagles in the studio, thank you very much again for giving up your time for us this afternoon. We really do appreciate it, and I know the listeners of Pulse, Noel Fanning and others, appreciate the broadcast, and it doesn't happen without you, mate, so thank you again for what you do back there, and to the crew here.
You're a legend, Sir Robert.
You just sit around and make things happen, you blokes. We really appreciate it. Dale, Grubby, thank you so much for your company again. Looking forward to being back here for next week's clash of traditional rivals of the highest order, Inverleigh versus Bannockburn.
Well, I just hope Bannockburn play better footy. Because if they come out and play like they did today, they'll lose again.
Yeah.
Was there any other real good games on? Who's Werribee playing? They were informed.
Werribee next week hosting Bellpost Hill.
Ooh.
Anarchy
Look out, Panthers. We're coming.
And Anarchy host Geelong West. Belmont Lions have got Thompson. North Geelong host East Geelong, and Winchelsea will play Corio up at Eastern
Club.
Reserve. So I think we've got the one. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. And I must say, congratulations to the Mighty Devils out there at the Devils Playground. Their first win for the season, and I hope you have a couple more. And for the Roos, don't despair. Keep going at it. Keep having a crack.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure whether you can win one now. I won't be too condescending, but get behind your coach and just give it everything you got for the rest of the year.
Maybe they'll play North Melbourne.
Oh, that's lovely. That is. That's lovely. That is.
That's a bit harsh.
They're not going real well.
No, they're not.
They're not going real well.
Listeners at Pulse, thank you for your support to our broadcast. We look forward to having you back next week. Bannockburn versus Inverleigh, GDFL match of the day. But for now, we'll return to the studios of Pulse. Thanks again, Robbie Eagles. This has been GDFNL Match of the Day football on 94.7 The Pulse, the home of local football.
Hello.